I love my little brother to death, but the fact that he's the marquee for that kind of says something.
Come around this way a little bit. There you go. What's up, everybody? You know what it is. It's Wednesday night. You know what we do. We watch wrestling and we talk to wrestlers. Tonight is Wednesday night, and AEW just started. We got my boy Superfly Johnny Lee with me.
What's up? What's up?
We got Sean Johns in the house.
Hello, everybody.
And we got the famous wrestler Omega.
Good.
The Pitbull.
What up, everybody? How y'all doing?
The gold-blooded killer.
Take it away, Johnny.
Oh, yes, guys. You see that belt right here? Not the one that's inside Mill. That one belongs to Omega. But these two on its sides, these were made by the man from Pakistan. You know who that is? Let me give you one hit. Muhammad Jafar.
It's not a hint. You
Well, I was thinking of his, but then I was like, well, screw it. I'll just give his name away. But yeah.
What up, pirate?
What's up, pirate? But yeah, you want belts like these? Hit up Muhammad Jafar because the man from Pakistan gives you great quality. He's never done us wrong. Take it away, Sean.
And one of our sponsors are ProWrestlingTees.com/NiceGuyAndy podcast. There are currently 4 designs. Soon we'll be getting more.
You guys are buying him.
Yeah.
We'll get some more up there. Shirts are good. There's a Sean Johns Wrestling Encyclopedia shirt. That's the one I recommend to everybody.
And 2 Nice Guy Andy podcast shirts.
Nice Guy Andy shirt. And then there's a Fandito shirt, but why?
Who would want that shirt?
Well, there's got to be a dud somewhere.
Exactly.
Also, we have an account with... I'm drawing a blank now. Snap.
Collar and elbow.
Collar Elbow brand. Use promo code AndyTan at checkout.
I mean, what's that you're wearing, Sean?
This is... That's actually what I'm wearing. It's my Collar Elbow brand hoodie, jacket.
That's a cool jacket, man. That's awesome.
It's not
And it's
sparkly
great
like
quality.
Johnny's, but it'll have to do. And you can buy one there. It's very comfortable, reasonably priced. Plus, use our promo code AndyTan at checkout. Save 10% off your entire order.
So, Omega.
And we got a new microphone there that Sean Johns.
And we got a new microphone.
That was provided.
I want the old one back then.
Provided by the main sponsor of the show, Andrew Watkins.
Chris?
Me.
Yep.
All right. What up, Chris? Chris Blade.
What's up? What's up? So, Omega.
What's up?
Let me know. Where did you get your training from?
So, I broke into business back in 2017. 17? What year is this? 2023.
This is 2023.
2016. Yeah. I broke in October 2016 over at the arena in Jeffersonville. Early on, I had a lot of people who sort of played a role in my training and like in terms of what I was learning in the ring. Very first person I ever stepped in the ring with was a brother from not too far from here who used to run through Kentucky for, years and years and years. Frank the Tank, Big Frank McIntosh. Frank was, the very first time I stepped into a wrestling ring, Frank was the one who taught me how to wipe my feet. He's the one who taught me how to hit the ropes. He was the one who taught me how to take a bump. A lot of my early education came from Frank. Along with Frank, there was a whole bunch of people who used to show up over at the arena and help pitch in and show us different things. A guy who's still very predominant in Southern Indiana, the amazing Pookie. He had helped out with a lot of the stuff we did. Eric Cross, extremely underrated talent. He used to help out with a lot of stuff. My homie Van Mardigan, that I know y'all get a Gaston on here a lot.
Yep.
One of Gaston's early trainers, man. Shout out to Van Mardigan. Used to help us with a lot of stuff early on. And so it was like a sort of a collective effort, like in terms of actually learning what to do in the ring. But then about 4 or 5 months into, Simon says, gotta throw him out there too. Simon was one of them dudes who, Simon was rough, but like that was one of them dudes who, really, really, really helped me get my momentum going early on. But when I was about 4 or 5 months in, they had brought in a lady named Miss Hollywood, who used to, she was an OVW grad. She had done work with OVW. She had done work with the WWE. She had done work with TNA back in the day. She did a stint in AAA down in Mexico. She saw something early on and was like, hey, I think you got a lot of potential. I'd like to take you out from here, have you branch out, and I can put you through with some people who can help you learn even more. From there, she was the person who first introduced me to Vic. And everybody in and out of wrestling know Vic's pops, man.
Yes,
Vic is that was my trainer, that was my mentor, that's my wrestling dad. Me and Vic got so close. That is my daughter's godfather. You know, me and Vic became that close. You know, she was the one who introduced me to him, and that like opened up a whole different set of doors, man. So for the longest, it was like, you know, Hollywood was mom, Vic was pops, and between the two of them, that's where I went from being a guy who knew, you know, how to take bumps and how to throw clotheslines to being a professional wrestler. They taught me psychology. They taught me how to operate the business. They taught me how to be a professional. You know, they were the ones who sort of took me from a guy who was cosplaying as a wrestler to actually being a professional wrestler. You know, was extremely fortunate to spend, you know, my formative years, you know, being able to travel with them and learn from them. And even with that, they would take me to different places and introduce me to, you know, a lot of the cats who mentored me, who, you know, also became like extended branches of my wrestling family. Hollywood and Vic took me up to Columbus, Indiana early on. And I met Flash Flanagan doing that. And Flash became like a wrestling uncle. You know, Flash is that uncle who like shows up on the holidays and he's the one who, you know, tells the super inappropriate jokes.
Yep.
And he's gonna beat you up a couple times. You know, he's the uncle that you play football with at the family reunions and doesn't understand like two-hand touch. Like he wants to, you know, drop the shoulder and like X-stick tackle you, you know, instead of just pushing you to the ground. It was always Flash, you know, but love that dude to death. He was a great mentor early on. They had introduced me to guys like Larry D. Angie had recommended me to Larry when he was still running PTW out of Georgetown. And I mean, Larry was, I think this was actually before Legends Academy. This was before he was officially running a training school. Larry would open up his ring to young wrestlers in Kentucky. You know, he put out the offer every single Sunday he was running shows. He was like, hey, come help out, you know, help us set up the ring, help us set up the building. I'll work with you guys in the ring. I'll give you some early ring time before the show. And him and Ronnie Roberts would, you know, work out with a bunch of the young cats. You know, it would be some of us from the arena, some of like the young OVW guys who were coming through. And, you know, Larry and Ronnie would work with us for hours, you know, before the show. And if he had a spot open on the show, you know, we were always the ones, you know, offered to be able to fill the spots. And I got some of my early Kentucky matches like it. I got to work a super talented dude who, I think he's down in Florida now, named Matt Stevens, you know, and had a phenomenal match early on with him. First time I stepped in the ring with Lord Crew was actually because of that, you know, at Larry's. And, you know, I got to learn a lot from Larry early on because of Hollywood and because of Vic. You know, they introduced me to guys like Damien Wayne, who Damien might be one of the best pro wrestling minds I've ever met. Like some people just get it. You know, some people understand not only the what, but the why. And like Damien Wayne, he's one of them guys that even in real life, tough as nails. Yeah. Like just one of them like bona fide hard men. You know, you have so many dudes in pro wrestling who want to walk around, you know, with their shoulders up and their chest popped out like, you know, they the baddest, you know, so-and-so in the world. Man, Damien's one of them dudes who walks into the building cool as a cucumber, but he just has this look in his eyes. Like if you say something to him the wrong way, he's gonna smack the face out of your mouth.
Yeah, straight.
But super generous dude when it comes to, you know, passing on wisdom. You know, he's one of them guys that if you show up to a locker room that he's in and you sit down and shut up and listen to him like talk to anybody else, you're gonna learn something. Yeah. You know, and so I was super fortunate to be able to learn from guys like him, learn from guys like, you know, Chase Stevens. You know, I spent a lot of time around him. James Carver, who used to run shows down in Franklin, Kentucky. You know, learned a lot from him early on. Somebody who's unfortunately not with us anymore, Tracy Smothers.
Tracy Smothers. His name comes up every
Yes.
podcast.
You cannot.
Every
In
podcast.
Kentucky,
You can't talk about
you
Kentucky
can't-
wrestling without
You
saying his name.
cannot talk about
Kentucky
Kentucky
without
wrestling
Tracy
without
Smothers.
mentioning Tracy.
That's
I
right.
swear it's probably like every podcast his name comes up.
And that's because Tracy was one of them guys, man. Everybody always talks about leave the wrestling business better than you found it, and for a lot of people, it's lip service.
Yeah.
Tracy was one of those guys who was determined he was going to leave the wrestling business better than he found it.
Yeah.
Tracy might be the most selfless person I ever met in wrestling.
Really.
Like bar none.
How'd he pass? It just
Cancer.
Yep.
is it cancer?
Yeah.
that sucks. Cancer's a bitch, man.
Zodiac.
Fuck cancer.
What's up,
Cancer.
buddy?
Cancer.
What
If you're
up,
Oh, we
living,
got Zodiac in the
Uncle
house.
Zodi in the house.
What's good, man?
hey, cancer. If you're living, if you're listening, fuck you. Okay.
Yep. Fuck you, Cancer.
Exactly.
Because
Cancer
Tracy
sucks.
Smothers
My
was a
dad.
great guy.
Cancer took a really good friend of mine, Don Ferris, really one of my best friends in this whole world. She passed away like about a year or two ago, and cancer took her. So
It also took my grandpa.
cancer takes everybody. It's fucking stupid.
Last
Anyway,
October, I lost one of the best people I've ever known in my entire life to cancer. Old high school teacher of mine, who's one of them people that, back when I was still young and dumb, didn't really care about anything, didn't really care about anybody. Sort of walked around with a chip on my shoulder, that sort of like apathetic dude who was too cool to care.
Yeah.
She was one of them people that, would shake some sense into me. It was like,
Yeah.
you're too smart and too talented to be acting like it.
did you say you was from Louisville?
Yes, sir.
So did you grow up in like the bad neighborhoods in Louisville, or what was your bringing up?
Man, they wasn't great.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try and like 8 Mile myself and make it seem like
Exactly.
I grew up in like
Yeah.
The far corners of Somalia or some mess like that.
Exactly.
But like, nah, I grew up. All my local people understand. I bounced back and forth between Newburgh and the West End for the longest. I grew up in Newburgh, outside of Revere, near Rangeland. Louisville people, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
And then I spent a lot of my elementary and middle school years over in the West End. I lived out 47th behind Chickasaw Park. And then we moved to West Butchell for a little bit, moved back to Newburgh. And like, these
Ain't the best neighborhood.
ain't the best neighborhoods,
It's like
but
I
we're not
live-
gonna make it seem like this is like Compton or nothing like that.
Yeah, well, I lived in all the bad neighborhoods in Lexington, but it's Lexington.
Exactly. In that part, man, it's like, don't get me wrong. I lived in some of the rougher parts of Louisville, but at the end of the day, it's Louisville.
Yeah.
Like, we're not talking about Chicago.
we're
We're
not
not talking
talking
about
about-
Miami.
Yep.
It's
Compton or
Louisville,
nothing
man.
like that. Yeah.
Exactly. But like, nah, we grew up in some places that was rough, but it was. I don't know. It was this weird dynamic because like I grew up in like rougher parts of the city, but I was smart as a kid, and like my mom didn't want me going to like the neighborhood school, so she made me test into in Jefferson County what they call traditional schools.
Okay.
Which were predominantly for like upper middle class by design.
Smart
it was like
kids.
upper middle class, Caucasian families.
Yeah.
So it was like.
But you were smart enough to get in over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so and it was all college preparatory. The traditional elementary schools and middle schools filtered into male.
At least your mom
male
was
the
like,
college prep school.
your mom was cool enough to be like, hey, I know you're smart enough. You can get in over
Exactly.
there.
That's
Or
right.
if you're not, you're going to get in over there anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was going like
Yeah.
one way or another. Like
Yeah.
she was determined on that.
Your mom and pops together? Or
Nah, I grew
Single?
up single mother household.
yeah.
I had my dad kind of split when I was born.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I have 4 older sisters. We have the same mom, different dad. They broke up a little bit before I was born. But my sister's dad, a man named James was in my life more than my own biological father was.
Yeah.
Like he didn't try to like assume the role of dad.
Yeah,
But
but he
I
was just
mean,
there.
even when I was born, I was his ex-wife's son by another man, and he came and saw me in the hospital. My own father didn't come see me in the hospital.
yeah.
He came and saw me in the hospital.
That's a real dad right
Yeah,
there.
man.
Yeah.
He came around on my birthdays.
He loved you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he came around for my sisters on the holidays, he would always bring me something.
Yeah.
Even now, I got my own family. I got a daughter. He calls, checks on, my family all the time. Is one of the most honorable men I've ever known in my
That's
entire
cool shit.
life.
That's
Yeah.
cool shit. That's cool shit.
That's a great dad too.
Dean
Exactly.
O'Neill.
How old your
buddy?
kids?
I got a 3-year-old baby girl.
3-year-old baby girl.
Yeah.
Awesome.
She's y'all been to the shows. Y'all probably seen her. As soon
Probably,
as the ring
yeah.
clears out, she's always the first one want to jump in the ring.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
We probably
Smallest
seen her.
one and wants to, first one to want to throw hands with everybody
Yep.
else.
Yeah.
She gets it
that's
from her
cool
dad.
shit. That's
Yeah.
cool shit, man.
Got that.
But
Yeah,
I was
Pitbull.
raised by, and it's dope because today's International Women's Day. I was raised by, I mean, the strongest woman that I think has ever walked God's green earth, man.
Shout out your mom. Shout her out.
As mom, I don't know if you listening tonight, because like I kind of warned her. You know, she told me she told some people I was gonna be on here. And I was like, she told a bunch of people from my church. I was like, oh, man, you told the church folk? She's like, yeah. I was like, they might need earplugs in some part. But Mama,
the
if
church
you
is
listening,
watching. We got to keep it cool.
Mama, if you're listening, love you to death. Thank you for absolutely everything. Thank you for giving me birth. Thank you for putting up with me all these years, because God knows that a lesser human wouldn't have.
Well, thank you, Omega's mom, for making Omega.
Mondo Hudson said, short too hard, boy.
Mondo. So, man, gotta shout out my boy Mondo, too. A shirt that I got on right now.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Great
you got
shirt.
a shirt on.
Mondo's shirt. Mondo's a good friend of mine. Known him since, I know Mondo since he's about 11, 12 years old.
Is he a wrestler too?
He's not a wrestler. He's a DJ.
DJ, okay,
He's
cool.
a DJ and a chef.
Yeah.
The best of both you'd ever meet.
Really?
One of the baddest DJs you'd ever meet in your life. And I mean, culinary.
Cook your ass up something too.
He's from New Orleans, man.
Hell yeah.
So,
You got to learn to cook that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like what Action Bronson.
Right.
Yeah.
Action Bronson's a chef and a rapper too.
So he's one of them dudes. He knows his way around the turntable. He knows his way around the kitchen.
We're actually
Mondo, bad man.
We're actually having a DJ on tomorrow. Easy
Easy to DJ.
Easy the DJ's coming on tomorrow night. He's a local guy. He's up for a Lexington Music Award. So we're having.
We might
him on.
hit up
Awesome.
Mondo next
Yeah,
time.
if Mondo wants to come on, we can get him on
right,
at some point.
Jody. DNA don't always mean dad. That's right, brother.
That's right.
Is he like a DJ that goes and does parties, or he's just like a DJ that makes music and puts it out there and has his own albums and stuff?
Mondo, you got an album out there that don't nobody know about? If you do, chime in, bro. Like, go ahead and put yourself over. Like, I
Drop
can't
the artist app.
Hey, we
Jump on
always
this
need
shout.
We always need some original music to play on the podcast. So if you got something,
Mondo, here we go, fam.
That's
we'll
right.
play it. We'll play whatever, man. As long as it's original, we'll play it.
Boom.
And Cavante Cox. If I pronounced it wrong,
What up, Vontae?
Hey guys, you guys are new to the podcast. Hey,
Omega,
like and share the
shout
podcast
out
page.
Mama, I guess.
What up, Vontae?
These guys you grew up with?
Not grew up with. These are the dudes that became family. Mondo, like I said, I've known Mondo since we was about 11
years
12.
old.
Vontae, I met in college, and he was one of them dudes that became like a little brother immediately, man.
Yeah.
He's good people. So there's probably going to be a couple of them chiming in here. At some
That's
point.
cool, man. Everybody like and share the podcast page. We can get all our
That's
people
right.
we want, and you guys will have on Mega as much as he wants to come on.
Hey.
Hey,
right.
what college did you go to?
I spent my first year of school at EKU down in Richmond, and I was a double major in Homeland Security and Criminology.
Okay.
Originally, I wanted to
Be a cop?
I wanted to work for the FBI.
FBI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff that went on that year. I started college in 2011, and growing up, especially growing up like a young black dude in Kentucky, certain interactions with the justice system that you see all the time weren't exactly positive anyway.
Yeah.
But my thing was always I knew some great cops growing up.
Yeah.
I had some horrible interactions with police growing up,
Yeah.
but I knew some cops that were very, very honorable people.
Yeah.
And what's the old saying? You can't change the game, sitting on the sideline.
Right.
So like I always had this,
Exactly. You have to
man,
be a part of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I
See if
always
you can
wanted
change
to
anything.
Exactly. And I always, it's always been this thing with me. Anybody listening that knows me, can probably attest to it. I'm protective to a fault. I'm that person who wants to try and protect and help and shelter everybody. So, the justice system seemed like a good fit. Seemed like a good way to go.
Yeah.
But man, my first year in college, that was the year of the Casey Anthony trial.
Yeah.
We all remember how that went. That was
Yeah.
the year
Yep.
of the George Zimmerman case.
Yeah.
That was the year of the Aurora, Colorado shooting. I mean, it was just so much going on. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I went from being somebody who didn't really have faith in the system but thought I could make a difference to I felt helpless. I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? No,
Yeah.
this is a doomed system.
well,
I can't do
I
nothing.
mean, you look and you watch politics now. All of us feel helpless, like because
Yeah.
they're just a bunch. Seems like a bunch of goofs up there, just fucking making up whatever they want to make up, and it's all about money. So
And I mean, to anybody listening, before like this even, before we start to twist words and let this morph into anything, let me be perfectly clear. I am not anti-cop. I'm not anti-individual. I know some wonderful cops out there right now. I went to school with several of them. And it's just like, even back in 2020, when a lot of, when a lot of things started getting brought up in this country, I don't think most people were anti-individual. It was anti-system. The system itself was, people were attempting to put the system itself on trial, not the individuals who happen to be caught up in it.
Yeah.
Because it's just like anything else, is the justice system's no different than the political system, no different than the educational system, no different than wrestling. You have great people in it, you have horrible people in it, but if the system itself is flawed, then that's what needs to be addressed. That's what needs to be corrected.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. Yeah, that's very true. The system does need to be changed. Yeah. So, as back to wrestling, was you a big wrestling fan when you was a kid?
Yes, sir.
Always. Who's your favorite wrestler?
So, when I was a kid, Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle was my goat growing up, man.
Couldn't pick a better one. That's a guy.
Hey.
That guy is fucking awesome, man.
Well, it's like even as a kid, like I was born in '93. I was an Attitude Era baby.
I graduated high school in '92.
Ooh.
I'm an old motherfucker.
Little bit of age gap.
Exactly.
But see, it's wild because like my earliest memories, like period, are being like 3 or 4 years old, like sitting on my big sister's lap watching wrestling on TV.
Yeah.
And like I'm the baby in my family. You know, all my sisters are 5 to 17 years older than me.
Yeah.
I think if I'm doing the math on that right. So not only was we watching like, the Monday Night Wars and like Monday Night Raw, Nitro and like that, but they had tapes of stuff, going back to like the 80s.
Uh-huh.
So that gave me like an early education too of like the older stuff that like a lot of the kids my age wasn't looking at.
Yeah.
So I had a little bit of a blend of like the old school and what was current at the time. But even still, Kurt Angle was my GOAT.
Yeah.
Because he was one of the dudes that like you looked at it and it was legit. Everything he did was, because he had the background, so everything he did was intense. It
badass.
Was fierce. It was exactly.
But Mondo said, I knew he was going to pick weak ass Kurt Angle.
Mondo hates Kurt Angle, man. I don't know what Kurt Angle ever did to Mondo as a kid, but like Mondo hates Kurt Angle.
And Kaluna Kennedy said, hi, little big bro.
What up, big sister?
And she said, so super proud of you. Keep pushing and doing what you love.
Man, and again, International Women's Day. I gotta give a shout out to my sisters real quick. Samik, that's my oldest sister. She lives up in Chicago. Again, my earliest memories in life are staying up at night with her watching wrestling.
Yeah.
My big sister Kalana, they just shouted out.
I love Chicago.
One of the best medical professionals you'd ever meet in your entire life.
Really?
She's a nurse, extremely caring individual. One of the best caretakers you'd ever meet, man. She's the family caretaker.
She around Kentucky still?
Yeah, she lives in Louisville.
Okay.
She was a traveling nurse for a little bit, and so she hopped all around the country. But she's headquartered back in Louisville now. My third oldest sister, Janita, I'm not sure if you listening right now, love you to death. My youngest sister, Denise, she's the one that like we're the closest in age, so we was the one that grew up button heads the most.
Yeah,
it's one of them things. Growing up, I didn't think she liked me, and it's one of them things.
She probably had to watch your ass a lot. Didn't
she?
And it's like I want to watch this little kid.
we talk about it all. We joke about it all the time as adults now because like we have this super close relationship now.
Yeah.
But and like I tell her, it's like growing up, I didn't think she liked me.
Yeah.
And
you hated me then.
Yeah, and I think that hurts her feelings a little bit.
Yeah.
That I thought that, but it's like man, growing up,
she's just keeping your ass in line.
Exactly, and that's all it was, man.
Yeah. You gotta give a shout out to her, keep you out of trouble.
Oh yeah, love my sisters to death, man. Yeah. If it wasn't for my sisters and it wasn't for my mama, I wouldn't be the human I am today, man.
Yeah,
I could have went down a whole bunch of different roads in life, and in all honesty, with me being me and with me knowing me, I should have went down a whole bunch of different roads in life.
Yeah.
But they was all determined that wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
They was like, nah, man, not my son, not my brother. And I mean, I was fortunate, man.
So
not everybody has people who care about
him.
him.
Pick Kurt Angle, but definitely models after the animal Batista. Make it make sense.
And after the truth.
Who said that?
Who said that?
Mondo.
So like, and I was a Batista fan growing up. I mean, it was so many dudes that I was a fan of, but it was like, most little kids go to in the Attitude Era was always The Rock. It was The Rock and Stone Cold. And don't get me wrong, they were cool.
Oh yeah,
Stone Cold had all the charisma in the world, and he was, he was that badass who was anti-authority, and that was dope.
Yeah.
The Rock was like the coolest dude in the world.
Yeah.
And that was cool as like a performer and an entertainer, but as a wrestler,
Kurt
Angle.
And he had the charisma and the being funny and could like make fun of himself. Like he was the all around. I really loved him too. He was all around great wrestler. I got to meet him one time down in Lawrenceburg when they had TNA come down there. They had a show down there. I got to meet Kurt Angle, but that was one of my big highlights.
Also, no one else got a great song like Kurt Angle when he said, "I make your ankle hurt." Sexy boy.
The sexy Kurt, WrestleMania 21.
Yeah.
But like, because I mean, like, even when you used to watch their matches, you know, The Rock, I honestly never cared for The Rock as a wrestler.
No,
you know, he was. It was okay, but like even when he would start firing up and it was all the open hand smacks, man, you go back and look at somebody like a Kurt Angle or I know it's the taboo name, but you know if you look at like Chris Benoit throwing hands, you looked at like
Dean
Jericho,
Malenko.
Taz, Dean Malenko. When them dudes
Saturn.
went, and then you look at The Rock and it was like all loose wristed. And
Rock was more like a Hulk Hogan.
Baiting his hand and then slam.
Man,
Rock was more like a Hulk Hogan style. Yeah.
Anybody who watches me wrestle can probably tell a lot of my influences, man. I was heavily influenced by, Angle. I was heavily influenced by Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
When I got a little bit older and started like paying attention to like, Japanese wrestling, Kenta Kobashi was a big one for me. Minoru
Suzuki is badass.
If I got a call right now on this show from somebody who's like, "Hey Omega, Minoru Suzuki's coming to North America next month. I'd love to book you in a match against him. I think y'all can have a really strong showing."
Hell yeah.
Instead of that, they say, "Hey, Omega, come over here to Japan. You going?"
Shit. Get out this podcast right now. I'm going to the airport.
I'm packing, son. I'm packing.
If they told me, hey, we want you to, if they were like, hey, we want you to wrestle Minoru Suzuki the first Saturday in April, that following Sunday, I'm retiring. Like, there's nothing. I have nothing left to do.
Yeah.
That is like the peak. That is the peak of my wrestling career.
Yeah.
I got nothing left to do. I got nothing left to prove after that. I got to throw hands on Minoru Suzuki. I'm done. I'm peaked. What else am I doing, man?
Mondo says your chops don't hurt like shit because you're a Kurt Angle fan.
Who said that?
Mondo.
Bet. Big bet, Mondo. I got you, bro. I got you, fam.
He gonna chop your ass, Mondo, when he sees you. You better watch out, Mondo.
I'd rather JBL's corny his ass than Kurt Angle. Dude was a cornball. Oh, Mondo.
that made Omega spit his water up.
JBL.
You were done drinking your water.
JBL's a badass, but as far as a wrestler, I don't know.
I'll tell you what, JBL's one of them dudes I don't think gets enough credit for his heel work.
Yeah.
That heel run, I mean, you have some extremely talented bad guys throughout history.
Yeah.
JBL's was so as a young black dude who grew up, didn't have a whole lot of money growing up. When he went on that heel run in like 2004 to 2007, he had all the money and he was doing like the Border Patrol bit. And like, when John Cena was still like the doctor of thugonomics, he was talking about, people like you who grew up in poor families don't deserve to be in this business with people like me. It was so slimy and felt so real. I hated JBL.
Yeah, I did too. I hated him too. But to look back at it.
I met him as an adult once I understood what wrestling was. And even still, I shook his hand and was like, "Hey, man, I'm going to be real. I still don't know how to feel about you." And he just laughed. But it's like,
I bet.
That's one of them things.
He just seems like a funny guy anyway, too, though.
Oh, dude, hilarious. Super nice guy. But it was like, man.
Brandon Wolf said, "You've already helped make someone defy gravity."
Brandon Wolf.
Brandon Wolf, yep.
First of all, love that cat, Brandon Wolf. Extremely talented high flyer. Early on when Brandon Wolf was wrestling, me and him worked for James Carver at he used to run a promotion called New South down in Franklin, Kentucky. We were working a tournament one night. Brandon literally defied gravity. Like he made a temporary glitch in the Matrix because we were early in the match. He was firing up. I cut him off. I kicked him in the stomach. Threw him out of the ring. He lands on his feet. I turn around. He goes up to the top rope. He goes for a drop kick, but like I'm standing in the middle of the ring. I'm standing here. He comes off the top rope with this drop kick. He kicks me. And as I'm falling, he somehow stands on my chest, jumps off my chest, and lands on the ground on his feet.
Wow.
Like,
Does he still wrestle?
Right.
Oh
Is he-
yeah,
he's still wrestling?
Oh,
Yeah.
he's still making his rounds.
Yeah, he
I
still
think-
wrestling.
Yo,
Write-
Brandon, if
write
you're
that
still on
name
here,
down.
man.
I already know. I
Brandon-
already know Brandon Wolf.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Brandon's
we'll
one of
get
them
you on the
cats y'all should get
podcast,
here.
Brandon.
Yep.
If you can do
Brandon's
shit,
talk.
if you can do shit like that, we're gonna get you on the podcast.
If you still listening, you sent that to he told me he was doing a seminar somewhere and he had a video of it and he showed it to him, but I can't remember who Evan Bourne.
Yeah.
Matt Seidel. He said
Evan Bourne.
that he was doing a seminar with Matt Seidel and he showed it to him and it popped Matt Seidel. You do something that pops Matt Seidel on
Yeah.
the top rope and that's kind of
Yeah,
impressive.
Evan Bourne was
That's
a
right.
badass.
Yeah,
like he's a
man.
flippity flip guy. He's like he's all over the place.
And that's exactly what happened. He comes off the top rope, hits me with the drop kick, stands on my chest in midair for a second,
Have
and
you
lands
ever
on his feet.
Have you ever met Alex Zane from
Alex
Lexington? Huh?
Yes, he has.
I love Alex Zane to death.
He's in Japan right now, I think.
I know, man. Alex is one of the coolest cats I never met.
I
man.
work with his cousin at UPS. When I work at UPS, it's my shoot job, and so I work at UPS with his cousin. I'm talking to his cousin all the time. He's like, when he gets in town, I'll get him on your podcast. And I was like, this motherfucker ain't never coming to town.
I love
Shout out to Alex
Zane.
Zane. Love you guys.
Big shout out to Alex Zane, man. He's one of them cats that even still, because of everything he's done, every once in a while, I love picking successful people's brains.
Yeah.
And I love picking the brains of like people who just seem to get it. And Zane's one of them dudes who
Yeah, he
just
gets it. Yeah.
So like every once in a while, like I'll be thinking about something or like I'll have a question about something. It's like, man, you know who's a good person for this? Zane. And I'll shoot him a message like, hey, bro, no rush, but like when you get a second, hit me back. You know, I kind of want to pick your brain on something. Never hesitates.
Yeah.
Like I will literally message him, no hurry. 5 minutes later, hey man, what's good? And he's on the other side of the world, so I know it's
Yeah,
probably like
yeah.
3 o'clock in the morning, like when I done messaged him.
Yeah.
And even still, without hesitation.
Yeah. He's over there wrestling in Japan, is what I understand.
Reason I get upset, or reason I get like a little when somebody brings up the name, the best match I've ever had was against Alex Zane.
Yeah.
And it pisses me off though because the match doesn't exist.
Nobody knows. Nobody
We had-
has it filmed or anything.
We had it filmed, but the person, it's when I was still working for Burt Prentice, God bless his soul, before he passed, for USA Championship Wrestling down in, he used to run between Dixon, Tennessee, and Jackson. He had a one-night tournament to crown a heavyweight champion, and me and Alex we wrestled in the semi-main against each other, and it was the match that elevated everything I did from that point forward, man. Like, I did stuff in that match that I didn't even know I was physically capable of doing.
Yeah.
And Zane put so much faith in me to be able to do that match. I didn't have that faith in myself. You know, he's got ideas for different things, and I'm like, yo, man, this will be fine. You know, Zane, I don't know, but it'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll do
we
it.
went out there and had a straight up banger, man. At the end of the match, he had me down. He goes for this shooting star. He goes for this running shooting star press. I literally nip up off my back on the canvas, and I catch him in midair with a triangle choke. And the timing on it was perfect. Like, it looked absolutely stupid.
Yeah.
And then he, like, struggles for it for a little bit, jackknifes it into a pin.
Yeah.
Crowd goes crazy. I'm talking to him after the show. He literally just gives me a hug. He's like, see, man, what I tell you? You over
Yeah. See, when you work with somebody like
Yep.
that
Yeah.
good, it brings out the really. It's like I could have if I
It
could.
brings out the good in
If I could
you.
wrestle people that good every time, then you could.
any little
The
bit
sky's
of
the limit, you know?
any little bit of reserve or trepidation or like, you know, wondering if I was good enough to do certain things died that night.
Yeah.
And I owe that to Alex. And I will be no matter what I do in wrestling, you know,
Yeah.
from now to the day I retire, I will owe the fact that I believe in myself as a pro wrestler to Alex Zane.
That's cool,
And again,
man.
it pisses me off so bad that
Yeah.
that match doesn't exist because the people who used to do video for Burt at the time had a falling out with Burt, and magically 3 months worth of video disappeared off the hard drive.
That sucks.
It's not on YouTube or anything.
I have that match with Alex Zane that does not exist. I've got several matches with Blake Christian that do not exist. I got a match with a dude named what's his name? Alex. I cannot remember his last name, but his name's Alex too. And I wrestled him that same night, first round of the tournament. Extremely talented dude out of Louisiana that I don't even think wrestles anymore. That match doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Like a lot of my early work when I was really starting to find myself just disappeared because some people had beef with Burt.
Exactly.
And that pisses me off so bad, man.
Maybe we can get a hold of those people. If you guys are watching, if you got that match, let us know, and Maybe we'll figure out something about it.
Exactly. I got a question for you, Omega.
What up?
Where did the concept of you wearing the mask come from?
So I did the mask for a little bit. That was part me, part Zodi. I was trying to do something a little bit different for a little bit, and I don't know. One of the things I just thought about was like, well, there aren't a whole bunch of black masked wrestlers on the indies. You know, like right now, top of your head, name 5 black masked wrestlers out there.
There's not.
I really can't.
Yeah,
Exactly. You know, and again, I've
did
met
Booker
a couple,
T wear
so
a
I
mask
know
for a while?
See, and that's what most people do. They think about who wore a mask for a little bit.
Yeah.
But there aren't a lot of, you know, black wrestlers out there who spent their career under a mask.
Yeah.
I mean, like you got Menace, you know, extremely talented dude out of Tennessee, one of the top vets out of Tennessee. There's Mojo McQueen up in Chicago.
Yeah.
There's Zombie Dragon, who I think's from Atlanta, but lives over in China and really helped like develop the Chinese wrestling scene. But there's not a ton of black mask wrestlers. So I was like, yo, that could be something kind of different. And again, Zodi's one of them dudes that, you know, I confide in Zodi a lot, and I go to him for advice on different things.
Zodi's awesome, man.
Man.
He came in here, and these guys were sick with COVID, and I was like, I called him, I said, Zodi, these guys got COVID. I don't have it. Do you want to still come? And he's like, yeah. I said, well, you're going to have to co-host the show. And he comes in, he sits right next to me and co-hosts the show. We sit here, and then Chris Blade comes in, I guess, too, and we just sit here and shot the shit, man, and he's just a great guy. He really is. And
100%.
I seen him without his, without his mask on one time. I just didn't know exactly who he was. He walks right up on me.
I remember the first time I met Zodi.
He walks
without
right
his
up
mask
on me, and
on.
I'm like, do I know? He shakes my hand. Hey, how you doing?
like,
I was like, do
yeah.
I know you? He's like, and I was like, then I looked at his eyes like, I know the fuck you are.
I've seen so many masked wrestlers like without their mask, and it's like, okay, that makes sense. I did not understand who Zodi was the first time I saw him.
Yeah,
without the mask
me
on.
too. I was like, yeah.
It almost felt like seeing something you wasn't supposed to be
Yeah,
seeing.
you wasn't. I wasn't supposed to. I didn't even know. I didn't even know if I wanted to see that. You know what I'm saying? Because like Zodi's like such a present. You know,
Yeah,
present.
got this
It was like I
mystique
felt
about
like I felt like inside baseball there or something. I still don't know if I wanted to see
The
that.
fact that he actually walked up to Andy and introduced himself, and then after Andy,
No, he
said,
didn't introduce himself. He just said he acted like he knew me, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Do I
Yeah.
know you?" And then he's
Hey.
like, he looked at me like this, and I was like, I looked at his eyes, like, I know who the fuck
He
you
was
are.
basically introducing those. Well, he didn't tell you who it was.
No, he
He's
still
like,
didn't tell me
hey,
who it was.
Andy.
You see
He's
Zodi's
like, hey,
face,
Andy.
and you just kind of want to walk up to him and go like this.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
so
yeah.
cute.
Yeah,
Zodi,
Exactly.
don't kill me.
Shout
man.
out
I'm
to
sorry.
Zodi, man. Shout out to Zodi.
that's why we got
Absolutely.
his sound on the soundboard.
This is a Zodiac, and I'm telling you now, meditate, elevate, and dominate. Do it with the Nice Guy Indie podcast.
He was our first champion. He carried the Monster Head belt up there. Which one is that one?
Yeah.
Yep.
He carried that that was our first belt that I've made. This used to be our old logo. I wanted the podcast originally was a conspiracy podcast called Monster Head, but I was like, I'm not going to get banned from everything. So we started doing the Nice Guy Indie podcast, and we started talking about wrestling. So my son COVID was happening, and I'd bought some podcast equipment, this podcast equipment right here, and I put it down in my basement, and my son was like, he's 22, I think. At that time, he was about 20, and he just moved out. And I was like, what are we going to do? Like, I got this podcast equipment. What are we going to talk about? He's like, let's just watch wrestling and talk about, like, pay-per-views.
Hey.
We started there, and then it's this now. So
Hey, Mondo
everybody knows
said,
us.
Mondo said this about you, Zoe. He said, "Knowing your big ass couldn't breathe in that motherfucker. Imagine Hulk Hogan wearing a mask."
Man,
Is it hard to breathe in the mask? Is
Yeah.
it?
I honestly don't know. Like, whenever anybody asks that, I don't know how to answer it because I feel like it should be.
But it
like,
I guess don't.
I'm my whole wrestling career, I've been somewhere between, usually I'm about 230.
Yeah.
At my heaviest when I first started, I was like right at 250. My lightest, I did a little bit of bodybuilding last year. I got down to like 205. But for my size, I've always had great conditioning.
Yeah.
Because you've been to the arena, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we've been. Yeah.
It is hard as hell to breathe in the arena.
Oh, the arena. Yeah.
And Tony has air conditioning in the arena now. When we first broke in,
Yeah.
there was no
there
AC in
was
the
no
arena.
air there.
So
No,
like,
you
and
couldn't breathe.
That's
Simon,
cool.
Simon, who was one of our first trainers, Simon would condition us to death. Like he would run us to death to where he would put trash cans on all four corners of the ring on the outside. You were throwing up. every single training session, and he would run you to death for like 3 hours, and then be like, all right, what y'all want to learn today? So like, I'm so used to not being able to breathe when I wrestled anyway. That like now it's like I can't tell the difference.
So can you, like, when you're wearing the mask and you don't wear the mask, you wrestle without the mask and then you wrestle with the mask. Which do you prefer? And can you see like really good out of the mask?
I can see really well.
Because I ride motorcycles, and I love riding without the helmet.
So Zodi made the mask.
Riding with the helmet's different.
Yeah, Zodi made the mask, and Zodi's a master of the craft. So I can see really well in it. It breathes really well. Personally, I preferred wrestling without it because I talk better without it. And like I got pretty good facials, man. I get
You're good looking guy. You show your face.
I do pissed off angry guy really well.
Yeah.
But like I never had a problem breathing with the mask on. When we started doing fair shows last summer, that was the only time where I could honestly tell a difference.
Yeah,
like I got done with one of the shows. It was like 95 degrees outside. I get back to the locker room. I took it off and it was just
somebody's got to unmask me.
And Haley Craig says, "Omega."
What up, girl?
And Kirkpatrick's giving me a hard time. Said, "Sean, how did you go from the host chair all the way down to Johnny's chair?"
Johnny got here and sat down in first.
That's right.
He offered it back, but I was like,
these guys both are co-hosts now at this point.
Yeah, we both co-hosts, Kurt.
Love Kirkpatrick, man.
Yeah, Kurt's cool.
Fun fact. Kirkpatrick wrestled a match against Moses once upon a time.
I believe it.
Jesus was his tag team partner.
I used to make a joke about Scott Diamond. It was like, hey, y'all know Scott Diamond managed Abraham Lincoln in a match against Robert E. Lee.
Yeah, he actually told that. Did he tell that joke the last?
When he was all
in
about wrestling now. I was watching.
Oh yeah, All About Wrestling podcast is watching this.
Oh, we love those guys.
Hey, what's up? What's up, Bobby Rassels?
Chris Blade said he's the roving reporter, but you've been kind of slacking off, Chris.
You've been reporting to yourself. You don't report to us.
All right.
You gotta tell something to us.
I gotta ask you something real quick about Mondo.
What's up with the two-step remix?
What is it?
The two-step remix song.
He said he's laughing at this one.
So, Two-Step by DJ Unk. It used to be my calling card once upon a time. Like, school dances, homecoming, prom, stuff like that. It was a song that if it got played, everybody cleared out the way because they knew I was coming.
Megan's going to be dancing.
That was the anthem. And with Mondo being the DJ,
make sure he played that shit.
Everywhere he went. No. I didn't make sure he played it.
No, he made sure.
Mondo made
that's
sure
what I'm saying. Mondo.
played. Yeah. So anytime the hookah bar we used to all go to, Mondo's the DJ. Mondo would hit it at least 2 times a night. Anytime anybody in the group got married, Mondo's usually the DJ. You know it's coming. It became the calling card. He would do...
You became part of his show.
Yeah. During COVID, he would do Facebook watch parties where, he would set his equipment up and, he would just do, listen-ins where, he'd be doing different sets. At some point during every single one, he'd be like, hey, Omega, I need you to get on video, hop on one of these. I'm about to play two-step. But I told him, man, I turned 30 in January.
Yeah.
My knees ain't as good as they used to be. So at one point, I threatened to retire it. I was like, nah, bro, I'm done. No more two-step. He messaged me immediately. He's like, nah, big dog, you got to take that up with management. Like, you don't get to make calls like that on your own. No. And he was one of them dudes that, like...
You just an employee at this point.
Exactly.
Can we get an example?
And Mondo he'd be a hard ass about it. So, like, we'd be somewhere and, like, maybe I'd already done it that night, or maybe I told him ahead of time, hey, Mondo, I ain't got a two-step in me tonight. He's still playing. And it's like, it starts off the same way. Like, it's a countdown. You just hear 4, 3, 2, 2. Mondo would be at the table, and he would keep it as a loop. And he would just keep looping it back over and over again. And he'd stare me dead in my soul, just looping it back.
You ready?
Like, bro, you gon' do that.
Yeah. You ready now?
He would cut the music off and start making threats. He's like, hey, y'all better tell his big ass if he don't get up, I'm going to start playing gospel music all night.
He said, give us an example.
Said you got some 30-inch pythons.
All About Wrestling says he like those 30-inch pythons like your arm.
Yeah,
I guess
this
he's
is
showing your
Omega.
arms out. There you go.
This right here, All About Wrestling. This is Omega.
We are here to pump you up.
Boom. I'm inside. We doing all right now.
Yeah.
Let them know who you are, Megan. You know who they are?
I showed why he laughed. He's like, look at that.
He like, your heart's ain't bigger than mine.
Hey man, see, I don't ever laugh though, because every once in a while somebody will surprise you.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I've been in the ring with a couple of guys where it's like, you know, you meet in the locker room and everybody's fully clothed. We get up top and it's like, damn, he's a little bit bigger than I thought he was.
Yeah, exactly.
I wrestled the Colorado kid, Mike Rapata, former NWA heavyweight champion one time. Rapata's huge. I didn't realize he was that damn big.
Yeah,
like, he's
yeah.
fully dressed. He walks out and I'm like, damn, Rapata's a little bit bigger than I thought he was.
Let me ask you, who have you wrestled that you was just fucking blown away with? I know you said Alex Zane, but
Again, Alex Zane, first person to come to mind. Toby Farley. Toby, who's like, Toby's one of the gatekeepers down in Tennessee, man. Toby's been wrestling, God, I know at least north of 15 years. And he's one of them dudes that, I mean, he knows just about every single style. His styles mesh well with everybody, and very similar to myself. He had MMA background. He loves that, like, nice, visceral, I mean, vicious style of wrestling. Yeah. Big striker, big submission artist. Me and him wrestled for one of Sir Mo's promotions down in Memphis. And, I mean, dude, it's Memphis.
Yeah.
You know, you think Memphis wrestling, you expect this kind of
yeah,
style anyway. Me and Toby beat the hell out of each other for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, at first we're having fun with it, and it's just, you know, testosterone and machismo going, and it's just, I mean, kicks and punches and chops and dropping each other on our heads and necks, and it's all fun, and it's all good, you know, in the moment. As soon as the match is over, we both, you know, bail out to the back. As soon as we hit the locker room, we both roll over onto our backs. We just look at each other. It's like, damn, man, why we do all that? This shit hurt. Why we do this?
That's right. You get up in the morning, you're like sore as hell.
Man, but it was just one of the matches that was just brutal, and the crowd felt it, and they could hear it. And, I mean, they was into it the whole time. And Toby's just, you know, an outrageously talented dude. Really blown away by it.
Like, have you wrestled any people famous that's like everybody would know? I know you said Tracy Smothers, but
I wrestled Carlito last October.
Carlito,
yeah. I wrestled Carlito for Big Time Wrestling that I'm holding the heavyweight title for right now, and that was a really cool one, man. Yeah. You know,
Carlito's jacked.
Dude, that's another one.
Fucking
that, you know,
jacked.
He gets to the ring, he takes his shirt off, and I'm like, damn, when did that happen?
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
Up,
like, because I've been working the fuck out too. Like, how you get that way?
Dude was massive.
Yeah,
like,
he's fucking jacked.
I'm not used to being a little dude in the ring.
Yeah,
and Carlito goes in and takes his shirt off, and I'm just like, damn.
Oh, I need to get in the fucking gym more. You said that yourself. Like, this, like, how do I get that way?
Right. But that was a really cool one. Actually, Big Time Wrestling next Saturday, March 18th. I've got a match against the Man Beast Rhino.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, I wish that was closer because we'd go down and watch that.
Yeah, man.
That's also
that's Virginia, right?
Yeah, West Virginia.
West Virginia.
That's also the same day as the Caverna show.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's the same day as Caverna show. If you're in Kentucky, head down to Caverna. Always a great show that Terry puts on every single year. Loaded card. I think he's got Godfather down there this year.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Kind of upset I'm gonna miss that one. I think I've been to every Caverna show since I started wrestling.
Yeah, I talked to Brandon the other day, Brandon T. Wilson. He said they were getting Godfather down there.
Yeah, but I wrestled Carlito. Zane's always the one that pops straight to mind. Blake Christian, you know, before he blew up and was absolutely everywhere.
I know you wrestled Larry up there too, didn't you?
Larry, I had, me and Larry wrestled. That was my first time ever wrestling in West Virginia.
Big time, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean that's one of my all-time favorite, man. Like,
shout out to Larry D. He just recently lost. You know, he lost his house.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
And guys, if y'all can go on the podcast page. We have a GoFundMe for Larry D.
Absolutely.
Y'all donate to Larry D and his family to try to rebuild his life and his family down there. His dad's got cancer right now too, I think, and they're just going through that too. So it's kind of a shitty time for Larry D. So if everybody out there can support Larry and send him whatever you can, send him $1, send him 50 cents if you can, but send him like as much as you can. We'll appreciate that, and he'll appreciate it too. So. Larry's really cool. We had
is the man.
we had Paige on. Paige was
Eric
awesome.
Booer? BOOH.
Big D, what up, man?
That's right.
Cycle back real quick though, and I'm gonna actually get back to D. But Larry's one of the most generous dudes you meet in or out of wrestling, and I mean, if this was anybody else, Larry would be the first person to jump. I mean, to their aid.
Yeah.
So like anybody out there who's listening, even if you cannot donate yourself, a share does a lot, man. You know.
Yeah. Share it to your
GoFundMe.
page. Yeah.
Exactly. Share it to your page. Just because you can't doesn't mean somebody else won't see it who can. So even it's absolutely free, and it takes 2 seconds to hit that share button,
Yeah.
and that'll do more than you could possibly imagine.
Yeah.
Larry, we all love you to death, man, and still so sorry to hear that. Man.
Hope to see you get back to having a nice house and having you see Generation Pro Wrestling back doing their thing.
Generation Next.
Generation Next.
We
Pro Wrestling
appreciate you,
doing
brother. You were saying about D?
Man, Eric Boer, that you said just commented. Big D. If anybody out there is looking for, a super talented, super heavyweight, Big D's your dude, man. Just moves like somebody half his size. Like,
Where's he wrestle out of?
He wrestles primarily out of Southern Indiana.
Okay.
He's also somebody who, he took a little bit of a sabbatical, so now he's out there trying to get his footing back. I think he just got back from, he did a couple of shows in Tennessee over the weekend. But, he's one of them dudes. He's hungry. He's looking to put himself out there. I guarantee you've never booked a super heavyweight like Big D before. Never.
Yeah, cool. So check out Big D, guys. If you're
That's
out there,
right.
book
Check
Big
him
D and your shows. Check out Mondo on Facebook. Give him a like and join his Facebook page. Mondo the DJ, right?
Yes,
Is that
sir.
what he goes by on
DJ
Facebook?
Mondo.
DJ Mondo on
anybody
Facebook.
out there looking for somebody for parties, events, weddings, Mondo's extremely interpersonal. He's one of them dudes that wants to spend time with you, finding out what it is that you want. He wants to know your musical interests. He wants to know what your kind of flow and vibe is. He's very big in making sure that your day is catered to you. So, definitely shout out to Mondo for that.
Damn straight. And you want a DJ like that.
Exactly. Because you got so many people that, who are involved with stuff like that.
And where's he mainly out of? Indiana?
Out of Louisville.
Out of Louisville.
Yeah.
Out of Louisville.
But, you got so many people, kind of like we was talking about with podcasts earlier, that, want to put themselves over. You got so many DJs who, since they have their style, that's what they want, regardless of whatever your style or your interest may be.
Yeah.
Mondo's one of them dudes. He has his style and his vibe, but he wants to know what it is that you want. It's your day.
What kind of party is it?
Exactly.
I'll play what you want me to play.
Bobby Rassles, thank you for the stars.
Thanks, Bobby Rassles.
Stars.
Bobby's got Bobby Rassles is out of Pennsylvania. Is that right?
That's right. Philadelphia.
They're a
About Wrestling
They've been a friend of this podcast for a long time now. And thank you, Bobby Rassles, for supporting us.
And
man.
you know what,
appreciate
Omega? He's learned a lot about you tonight.
Hey.
Maybe you travel up to. He knows a lot of people up there in Pennsylvania. Maybe you travel up there and wrestle at some point.
Here we go. Heck yeah.
Like
get around.
Break in action. He says later. What's up, Bone Breaker?
Just like Pro Wrestling Revolution is what they know too.
All right. And I've always wanted to make my way up to the Northeast. I ain't got to do it yet.
So it's I know you watched a lot of black wrestlers in the past. Like, which black wrestler inspired you the most? Like a pro wrestler. Did you see on like
Shelton Benjamin. Bar none. Shelton Benjamin.
He's jacked. Shelton's jacked.
Shelton Benjamin might be, when it's all said and done, I'm somewhere between Shelton Benjamin and William Regal on the most undervalued performers of all time.
Yeah, Shelton's very undervalued.
Shelton was.
You could tell that he stays in the fucking gym, and he's a hell of a wrestler.
There were no bad Shelton Benjamin matches.
No,
never.
He's a hell of a wrestler.
You put Shelton Benjamin in there with anybody, and he excelled in different styles. He was a great tag team wrestler. He was a great singles wrestler. And
he's still wrestling, right?
Yeah,
still on WWE.
Still going. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
He had the longevity, he had the athleticism, he was entertaining. Like
college wrestling coach of Brock Lesnar.
Exactly. Shelton Benjamin was one of
them. Roommate.
Yeah.
Nobody gives him that clout.
He's a badass.
Also, he's got a great moment. Even though he was on the end of the super kick at Shawn Michaels' delivery, he still made that moment memorable.
And I'm like, he has so many athletic moments like that. The super kick from Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels' best ever super kick.
Yeah.
The second ever Money in the Bank ladder match. WrestleMania 22. He had that moment where there's like 2 ladders set up in the middle leading up to the finish. He's on the outside of the ring, climbs up the rope, like completely off camera, jumps over the top rope onto the ladder, and starts attacking RVD on the ladder. Like, literally pops up off screen out of nowhere. Somehow magically placed himself on the ladder.
Yeah,
but
he's a badass.
Extremely athletic dude. Great
still
wrestler.
fucking, like, you see him now, he's still fucking jacked. He's probably in his 40s, right? I'd say.
At least. Yeah.
See, and my big thing with Shelton Benjamin was one of the things that I was big on when I first got into wrestling. I always hated the stigma of the black wrestler.
Yeah.
You know, you had to go, and this is by no means a diss to those people.
Yeah.
But like, I hated that if you were a black wrestler, to make it to the next level, you had to be dancing, you had to go out and shuck and jive.
Yeah.
You had to pull off, like, you know, a thug gimmick, or, you know, back in like the 70s and the 80s, you were going straight tribal.
Yeah.
You know, you were a Kamala, you were a wild savage.
Yeah.
Shelton Benjamin was one of the first dudes who, he wasn't a black wrestler. He was a wrestler who happened to be black.
Exactly.
You know, and that to me made a huge difference. You know, he was still for the culture, but they didn't make him out to be a giant caricature.
Yeah, like Big E and Kofi and all them, they're pretty much the same. Those guys don't fall into that either. They're just wrestlers.
Exactly. You know, and they got their own style, they got their own flavor, they're very entertaining, but they
Bobby
don't march
Lashley
them.
too, really.
Yeah, Bobby Lashley, and guys can do that now because of guys like Shelton. You don't have to go out and be a caricature of a black wrestler to be big now. And I think that goes back to Shelton.
I hated that they're kind of like on AEW, they're kind of pushing Powerhouse Hobbs that thug kind of way. And I just don't want, nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. You know, it's like, don't put him in a stereotype. Just let him be a fucking jacked ass wrestler, you know?
Exactly.
Like, why not?
And even when you start to lean, like, if you make a personal decision that you're going to lean into certain things a little bit, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I hate when it's like a clear directive from somebody of, hey, we're going to take this one little aspect of you and we're going to push it to the absolute max.
Yeah.
You know, if you can't tell somebody, you can't tell most promoters that you a black dude who may have grown up in the hood, because then guess exactly what your
you're gonna be the hood guy.
You're gonna walk out and they want yo, and, you know, your pants halfway off your ass, you know, for everything you do.
No.
And I mean, if that's what
just
you're gonna
go out
do,
there and be a
that's for you. Whatever,
badass
like,
jack motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Just go out there and be jacked and badass and fucking do your shit. You know, it doesn't matter really. Like the whole color thing doesn't matter. You know, as far as me watching wrestling, I don't want to see those stereotypes.
And you can still be for your culture without having to be a caricature of it. I'm a black wrestler, and I'm for my culture. I think anybody who sees my gear, who watches my promos, who sees my swagger knows that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a proud black man. I'm a proud black wrestler.
Yeah.
But I don't have to overly caricaturize myself. It's like Rey Mysterio.
You're not stereotyping
proud
yourself.
Hispanic wrestler.
Yeah.
If you look like Andrade, proud Hispanic wrestler, but he doesn't go out there in a damn sombrero with a Mexican flag wrapped around his neck.
Exactly.
Like, he doesn't have to come off as a caricature, you know, in order to be for his culture.
And I just don't think, I think that was past. We don't want to see that anymore. We want to see real live people, you know, being themselves, really.
Exactly.
Like, you know.
Shelton Benjamin's
Shelton Benjamin's a fucking badass, and he's jacked, and you see that he lives in the fucking gym. Him and Bobby Lashley's jacked. Like,
and we got this guy on here
and a real badass.
This guy on here says his name is James Metheny. He says Omega is one of my favorite guys to be in the ring with.
Hey, what up, man? Nah, that's another dude who, me and this cat done had some matches where we just go in and, I mean, just beat the hell out of each other for a little bit, and it's always fun. It always looks great. Like, he's a James. You at the Caverna show? I'm pretty sure. Ain't you? Chime in if you're gonna be there. I mean, if y'all like hard nosed smash mouth wrestling, he's definitely somebody to keep up with.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
What do you think about Booker T and the whole Harlem Heat?
See, that was another one.
Harlem Heat was my favorite freaking tag team ever. It's my favorite tag team ever.
I think Harlem Heat is a perfect example of being able to represent your culture without being a caricature of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they went out there, and like you could tell, there was a lot of Booker and like Stevie in that, and they really spoke to like that, you know, early 90s black culture, and that was dope. But they didn't march them out there as like a caricature for it. It was a lot better than the original idea for Harlem Heat, which was to have them go out there as like former inmates, like being led out by the Colonel, literally in chains. That was the original idea for Harlem Heat.
Exactly.
What's the name of the Colonel?
They were. Yeah,
he was
going
to
be
lead
like
them out
right straight out of jail.
Yeah, he was literally going to lead them out in chains in orange jumpsuits.
Yeah,
and they were like his hired guns. Like he broke them out of the chain gang to come be his enforcers.
Who stopped that? Booker T and them said they didn't want to do it?
Yeah, they said absolutely not.
Yeah.
They
And that's good.
That
of
was
them
a
to do
dumb
that.
idea.
Yeah, that's good to them stand up like that and not do that because
And,
they're my favorite
Rassles-
tag team of all time.
Yeah.
Bobby Rassles from the All About Wrestling podcast chimes in with a question, I guess for everybody, but mainly for you. Anyone think Big E will show up at WrestleMania?
I hope so.
I do too. I
I
think
miss
too.
Big E's presence so much, man.
yeah, Big E is a badass too, and that son
yeah.
bitch is jacked. He's
I'm telling you,
jacked, and he
he's one of
don't
my
play
favorites.
into the stereotypes either. You know.
Exactly, and he's another one, man. You can be pro culture without having to be a caricature of your culture.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
And he's one of the guys that showed promise, personality,
Yeah.
could do everything to the ring. He's like a main inventor
Oh,
in
yeah.
a new day.
Yeah, I
One of
was
my
I was so proud of him when he
Former
when they put the
WWE
belt
champion.
on him.
yeah.
Yes, he was WWE champion.
And I mean, even if you look at certain cats back in the day, Bad News Brown was another
Oh.
one, man.
Another great one.
And especially for me, again, like with having the MMA background, Bad News Brown, was a black belt in judo.
So
that's another reason why everything he did looks so legit.
So MMA, you study MMA still?
I studied Muay Thai and Judo for a while. I don't anymore, unfortunately. Too many hits to the head.
Oh, concussion.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Plus,
do
I
you
like
train
wrestling
people?
better,
Do you
man.
train people to do that?
Not in MMA. No.
No. So, did you have any jiu-jitsu?
A little bit of jiu-jitsu background.
Yeah.
So I learned how to roll for primarily for defense for a little while.
Yeah.
And even still, there's a few cats out there that like I trained with in wrestling who had like freestyle wrestling experience or had like jiu-jitsu experience. And every once in a while to work out, get some cardio in,
Yeah.
like during wrestling training, we'll have everybody clear out the ring and we'll just roll for a little bit. One of my homies in Audacity, my partner Chris Allen, he's a jiu-jitsu practitioner. Anytime me and him get a little bit of ring time together, it's always, all right, yeah, we did the wrestling stuff. All right, man, come on, let's roll for a little bit.
Yeah.
He's good, man.
Did he tap you out?
He's never tapped me out. He's the came close.
Yeah. Get you around your neck. Like,
Oh, yeah, like, we did a
I can't
couple of them
breathe.
where it's like, by a miracle, he didn't.
Yeah.
It is funny. One of the gyms I used to go to, like, just one of the, like, regular, like, weightlifting gyms I used to go to.
Yeah.
They used to have, like, a function training area out in the back. And one day, like, we all got a bunch of mats and set them up. And one of the guys who used to go there was, like, a former state champion in wrestling when he was in high school. And we had this girl named Shay who used to go to the gym. And Shay had done some jiu-jitsu. So, like, one day, like, they're back there, and, like, they just decided to do some grappling. Like, they had to come up with, like, some mutual rules because, like, two different disciplines.
Yeah.
And, like, before you knew it, there was, like, 10 people back there, and, like, we're all rolling with each other. Shay is, like, 5 foot even, probably not even a full 110 pounds.
Yeah.
Almost choked me out.
Yeah.
The
Like,
only
that-
I've never actually had anybody.
That's the one martial art that's kind of like everybody is on the same fucking level. Like a 110 pound person and a 200 pound person, like they can roll with each other.
Even when I was actually competing, I've never been tapped out. I've never been choked out. She almost did it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was literally by a miracle. Like, from the position she had me, I could grab her arm and I had her almost in like a high wrist lock behind her head to where if she would have put any more pressure down on my neck, it would have dislocated her own shoulder.
Yeah.
If I couldn't have done that, she would have tapped me out.
Yeah.
Like, I would have went to sleep. Again, little bitty woman, half my size.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's
man.
the thing that's the martial arts that can level everything out.
Oh yeah.
People don't realize that.
So you're into fitness training
Yes, sir.
and you have your own little business.
Indeed. You can
Tell
look me
everybody
up,
about that. Shout that out. Tell everybody about that, and tell everybody where they can find you. And
So you can look me up, Pitbull Fitness LLC on Facebook, Instagram. Are we on anything else? Are we on TikTok yet? No, we're not on TikTok yet. But you can look me up, Pitbull Fitness LLC on Facebook and Instagram. If you're in the Louisville, Southern Indiana area, I've got my own private studio over in New Albany. It's about 5 minutes across the bridge from Louisville.
so you got your own place.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
Do personal training, in-person personal training. We do small groups, boot camp style workouts on Mondays and Wednesdays from 5 to 6. My wife, Kaylee, is actually a certified fitness nutritionist. She does nutrition work. She does wellness coaching. She's a lifestyle transformation specialist. So, I mean, she helps people from all different walks of life through things like that. She runs a meal prep service named after our daughter. So, I mean, little bit of all encompassing, man.
So that's your full time gig there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
I like it.
That's cool, guys. Check out Pitbull Fitness, right? Pitbull Fitness.
Indeed.
Pitbull Fitness. If you want to
Everything
get
falls to
jacked
Pitbull,
like
man.
Omega,
Everything
and
stays with the Pitbull.
we found out today that Omega, it's his real damn name. He showed me his
Real deal.
He showed me his license. It says
not a
Omega
gimmick.
D on his license.
It is not a gimmick. I was born Omega. You know, my mom gave me that name January 19th, 1993.
Did you ever ask her why she named you Omega?
I know why. So,
Yeah, okay.
again,
Okay.
I got 4 older sisters.
Yeah.
You know, my mom had me when she was a little bit older.
Yeah.
You know, so she had me after already having 4 daughters. She was like, I got a son. This is it. Omega. The end. The last. Never again.
So what is
no more children?
What does the
after
name
this.
Omega stand for? What is it? Does it
It's-
mean the end?
So yeah, it's the last letter of the Greek alphabet, and it actually means the end.
Okay.
It's the end.
Yep.
It's the last.
Okay.
Yep. So
Exactly.
I was her last child, Omega. She was like, I'm never having any more children after this, man.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
It is
Madman
done.
says, Aria says, hi, Daddy, I miss you.
Hi, baby.
Oh, your daughter?
And
Yeah, that's my little girl.
Diego Lego Mago Ramirez, we call him Lego Mago, that's just between us. My KEPW trainer, miss you, man.
Oh God, Diego.
Diego.
Man.
Hey, Diego, get in the gym with Omegas.
Yeah,
a little bit
man.
more.
Yeah, Diego. If you gonna keep running your mouth on Facebook about some of these cats you about to get in the ring with, you might need a trainer for a little bit, bro.
Exactly, he
That's right.
does. He does.
Yeah, you've been talking a
Mondo
mighty big
said,
game. I've been
"Would
keeping
you
up with
believe
it, but
Have you seen this
Omega was a
motherfucker do
tuba
Elvis?
player?"
man. Hold on, rewind. What Mondo say?
Would you believe Omega was a tuba player?
Hell yeah! Best you ever find, man.
Played the
Hell
Speak
tuba.
on it, Mondo. Speak on it.
that's
it.
right.
Omega's
Tuba
going to
thing,
band
yeah.
camp.
Oh yeah. And I was big into music, man.
Yeah.
Growing up, like I was that kid who got in trouble easy. You
Yeah.
know,
Music's beautiful, man.
see, and like the old folks used to say, idle hands at the devil's workshop.
Exactly.
So like my mom put me in everything. I played every sport. She had me in theater. She had me in music. So yeah, man, I was a hell of a tuba player.
Hell yeah.
Man.
I started playing drums when I was 3.
The tuba, is that the big?
Yeah, the
big-
big
Yep.
golden one.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So like I started playing drums when I was like 2 or 3. My mom put me in Louisville. There's a little bit of an infamous drum line. It's called the River City Drum Corps, and like literally they start you from ground zero. You have to make your first drum before you even learn how to play.
No
the drums.
shit. You make a drum and then you
literally
gotta
had
play.
to make your first drum before you even got to learn how to play.
Hell yeah.
I mean, and it's kind of cool. It's kind of like with wrestling. You know, you got to learn how to put the ring up and learn your way around the ring before you should even be allowed to get in the ring.
Yeah.
So like I started playing drums since the time I was 3.
And what was the name of that group again?
The River City Drum Corps.
River
Shout out to
City Drum Corps. Shout
Yeah.
out to them.
That's right. Shout out to them.
But then when I started band, when I was about to start band, when I got to middle school, I started middle school in 2004. Biggest movie in the world in 2003 was Drumline.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So we had 150 kids signed up wanting to do band, and about 100 of them wanted to play drums.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I got a head start because like I already knew how to play drums. But then they were talking about, since there were so many people, they wanted to do audition camps and staying after school, and I was like, man, that sounds like a lot of work. I'm good. I'll do something.
Just give me
else.
the tuba.
Exactly. Well, like we had a day where like we got to look at all the other instruments, and there was this big, loud, deep, golden, obnoxious instrument. I was like, that one. Give me that right there.
And I'm sure that helped with your lung capacity and
Yeah.
helped with your cardio. Even carrying that big ass thing.
My mom had actually submitted a story to the Courier Journal in Louisville when I was growing up, because I'm actually an asthmatic.
Yeah.
Like I was born with asthma, and I used to have to go to breathing treatments twice a week when I was younger. When I started playing the
Tuba fixed that shit.
it did.
Yeah.
Like it like tripled my lung capacity to where I didn't need breathing treatments. I don't carry an inhaler anymore. You know.
That's awesome.
And again, my whole life revolves around fitness now.
Yeah.
And that's from the time that I spent playing tuba.
That's awesome, man. So
Yeah.
the tuba got you on the road to fitness.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
But hell
That's
yeah.
fucking awesome.
That's what I'm
man.
talking about.
Hey guys, you got asthma out there, fucking play the tuba.
And also,
Exactly.
Get
Hey.
pick up a tuba, damn it, or a trumpet or something.
you know what? Diego thinks that he's got big balls. He said, Omega, you and me should meet inside ring one time.
Yeah.
Diego, you done made Omega burst in laughter. Be his daddy.
That ain't what your mama said. said, plus his clotheslines feel like a sand truck hit him.
Diego, you put the 2-step on, he's gonna outdance you, son. So
Yeah, the 2-step.
as far as wrestling, I mean,
Man, look, I feel bad laughing that hard, but Diego, you ain't there yet, bro.
he's funny as shit, ain't he?
It's levels to this, man. You ain't there yet, player. You ain't there yet.
He got to train some
Keep
more,
it up,
bro.
Diego. Keep it up, man. Get in there and train. Keep training and keep it up, dude.
Exactly.
Oh, Kurt Patrick said he would pay to see that.
Hold up, rewind. I heard something about clotheslines. Who said something about my clotheslines?
He said
Diego
your
did.
clotheslines feel like a Sammy truck hit him. Diego
Man.
said that.
Okay. I know y'all love my homie Adrian.
Yep.
Who's another one of my Audacity brothers.
Adrian's awesome, man. We love him. He's our Nice Guy Indie Podcast champion right now. He's got our blue belt.
Let me tell y'all a story about Adrian Alexander.
Okay, tell us.
Early into Adrian's training, we was going over some stuff, and I don't even remember like what led into it, but he was having trouble with certain things and clotheslines. He didn't like clotheslines, so like one day
Receive them or do them.
Both.
Either way.
Like he just felt weird about clotheslines. So one day we're going over clotheslines. I'm like, all right, here's what I'm gonna do. It's like I'm gonna throw you into the turnbuckle. You're gonna come out, clothesline you right in the middle. He was like, all right, cool. So I send him off. Boom, he comes out in the middle, clothesline him. Bow. And I was like, all right, that was good. It was good. Get up. We're gonna do it again. And I go back to the corner and I look up and he's not there. And I'm like, what the hell? No, he was still laying on the ground. Yeah, so I'm thinking he's playing with me. It's like,
You done
all
hurt
right,
this
man, get
motherfucker.
up. And he's still just laying there. It's like, ha. Okay, Adrian, get up. He's still just laying there. I roll him over and I go to pick him up. It's like, all right, man, come on, stop playing. Get up. I pick him up and I just hear snoring.
Oh, you knocked him
oh,
out.
Crap. I drop him and he just crumbles to the ground.
Oh.
His wife runs around to the side of the ring. She's like, what happened? I was like, I don't know. He's
knocked
not
him
awake. I think I accidentally knocked him out.
Oh, my
I was
God.
slapping in the face like, Adrian, wake up.
Poor Adrian got
Oh,
knocked out.
Adrian. Oh,
He finally wakes up. He's like, what the hell happened? It's like, Adrian, I think I accidentally knocked you out, bro.
wow.
What happened?
You hit him in the chin, I guess?
No, I caught him in the chest, but he breathed in at the exact same time I hit him.
Oh,
so when
wow.
I hit him, it knocked the wind clean out of him.
Oh, wow.
And it put him straight
I've
to
heard of
sleep
that.
for
Like,
a minute,
yeah, I
man.
heard of that
Yeah.
happening. Yeah.
I was like, ooh.
I thought you probably hit his chin or something. No.
Nah, it caught him right in the chest, but it hit him as he was breathing. So like it just knocked the wind clean out of him.
Oh, wow. Adrian.
I ain't never heard a man start snoring in the ring before like that. Like,
That's the first time.
He looked down and he's still on the ground.
that was scary, dude.
Oh, wow. I bet it was. I bet
Yeah.
you were scared to
Adrian.
death. Especially somebody you like, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I like Adrian. I
Yeah.
ain't want to do that to him.
Yeah.
Diego get in the ring, I might be a little different.
Uh-oh, Diego.
Yeah, go catch you one of them clotheslines, Diego.
That's right. Hey, he should know. He's already felt the clothesline once.
Right.
Yeah, Diego did.
Yep, he said that they hit like a cement truck.
I bet.
See, and that's back when he was starting. I was still trying to be nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eric Boer said, brother, I see Omega stomp a drunk fan's head into nothing as he tried to enter the ring. Same night
No
Bret Hart
snitching
got-
now. No
got attacked.
snitching. No snitching. Come on.
Yo, somehow I
He-
knew that
allegedly.
story was gonna end up.
Allegedly. Okay, allegedly.
Nah, it's video evidence. I can't even
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dang it,
All right.
Eric.
Somehow I knew this story was going to end up on this podcast. All right. Remember a couple of years ago when Jim the Anvil Neidhart got inducted into the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
And Bret Hart did his induction.
Yeah.
You remember what happened to Bret Hart that night?
Yep.
Yeah,
Somebody
that fan came in and
Somebody came into
Yeah.
the ring. Yeah.
Fan came into the ring, and just like jumped on him.
Yeah.
And, we're at a show in Columbus, Indiana. And a bunch of the guys in the locker room are watching the Hall of Fame ceremony, on the network. And it's a match. It's me and my boy Duke. We're about to go wrestle. Duke, you stay with a band on Facebook, so I don't know if you listen to this or not. If you are, shout out to Duke the Nuke. I mean, one of my best friends. I'll
Duke
get
the
into that later.
Nuke. Shout out, Duke.
That's
but
right.
me and Duke was about to wrestle, and right before Duke went through the curtain, somebody's like, "Yo, somebody just attacked Bret Hart." We was all like, "What?" We all ran over to his phone and we're looking at it, and he plays it back, and we was like, "Yo, that's crazy!" And you see everybody jumping to the ring. Right before Duke goes out through the curtain, he goes, "Damn, I don't know what I'd do if that happens to me." Fast forward, we're going through the match. We're at a point in the match where I had knocked the ref out, and I'm supposed to try and pin Duke. and there's no ref. You know,
Yeah.
I'm supposed to look around, and there's supposed to be a whole, deal that happens after that. So I knocked the Duke, I knocked the ref out. I spear Duke, boom, I go for the pin. There's no ref, and all of a sudden,
I think that's his friend Colin.
nope, who's that?
I don't know.
About to find out.
Hold on,
Yep.
let's see who this
It's-
is.
I got you.
Flynn.
Oh, is that Finn?
Yep.
Hold on.
Up, Flynn.
Hey, Flint, call me right back. I got to hook you up to the. He's telling the story too. Call me right back.
Flint, love you to death, bro. I'm gonna get to you in a second because I love talking to Flint. But I knocked the ref down. I hit the spear on Duke. Boom. Go for the cover. There's no ref. Everybody in the crowd's counting. And then all of a sudden, out the corner of my eye, I see somebody slide into the ring. And nobody's supposed to, it's not one of them types of deals. And I just see somebody slide into the ring this way. I just see a bald head go sliding this way. Immediately, I get off Duke and I curb stomp dude as hard as I can.
Oh wow!
Because I did, and it just off instinct.
So he just jumped in the ring.
He
Yeah,
deserved
dude
it.
slides into the ring, and I mean, the second his head crossed the bottom rope, I curb stomp him, and I'm just stomping on dude's head, and I'm yelling, "Get out of the fucking ring!" Oh my bad.
Oh yeah,
Is
you
there a-
can. No, you can say whatever you
Oh,
want. to.
cool. So, I'm stomping dude's head, and I'm like, get out of the fucking ring. Security comes over, and they're trying to get him out, and I'm still just stomping on dude, and he's not moving. So
Yeah.
now I'm pissed. I'm seeing red. So I kick him again. Boom. And it's like, get out of the fucking ring. All of a sudden, I stop long enough to look at him. His eyes are rolled in the back of his head, and he's got a little bit of blood coming
yeah.
out right here. It's
He
like,
can't hear you no
Yeah, I was
more.
like, yeah, he can't hear me no more. So
He
I just sort of
deserved it.
push him out of the rest of the way with my foot.
Yeah.
We finished the match. We get back to the back, I go to pin Duke towards the end of the match. When we finally get to how it's supposed to end, and I pin him, and he's talking to me. He's like, "Hey, dude, is everything all right?" I was like, "Duke, if I get up and that dude's on the outside of this ring, I'm gonna kill him." He's like, "All right, let me know if you need me."
Yeah.
I get up off Duke. Dude's getting carted out of the building by security, and
Yeah.
he's in no man's land.
Yeah.
So I get back to the back, and the owner of the company's pissed. He's mad at me.
Oh man, it's you.
Yeah. Flash Flanagan's back there, and Flash is shielding me from the owner because he's like, no, Omega did exactly what he's supposed to.
Yeah.
He's like, some
He's supposed to
dude
jump in
just-
that ring.
Exactly. He's like, some dude just got in the ring. How's this Omega's fault? He's like, Omega
Yeah,
did
that's
exactly
great.
what he's supposed to. So the two of them are going at it. Flash is taking up for me. The owner's pissed. He goes outside, and dude's called 911. Dude came
the
back to
police on you?
consciousness. Yeah, he called 911. So we've got 5 squad cars outside, and they're taking statements, and he's talking to them, and they've called an ambulance and all this
But
stuff.
he's okay though.
He's alive.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
He's lucky to be.
So
Yeah.
and I'm smart. There's police outside. I know they know what's going on. I'm not leaving because the last thing I need is a warrant. But
Exactly.
in my brain, I'm like, yo, it's a Saturday in Columbus, Indiana. I'm like, please don't let my black ass go to jail.
Be in jail till
in
Monday
Columbus,
morning.
Indiana, till Monday morning.
Yeah, exactly.
That's bad news. So I'm just sitting there the rest of the night waiting. All of a sudden, the show's over. All the fans start clearing out. State trooper walks in the back door where the locker room is. He's looking around. I just raised my hand. I'm like, all right,
That's
I
me.
know y'all here to see me. He walks up to me. He's like, I'm guessing you're Omega. He's like, yes, sir. He's like, do you have anything you feel like you need to tell me? I was like, sir, y'all been here for over an hour. I'm assuming that, everything's been explained to y'all. I don't really have anything additional to say. He was like, all right, that's all I needed to know. And I'm waiting for him to tell me to stand up, put my hands behind my back. He goes, all right, that's all I need to know. And he walks towards the door. I'm like, that's it?
Yeah.
And he looks at me. He was like, well, he was like, do you have a statement or anything you'd like to make? I was like, no, I figured. And he cut me off immediately. He was like, sir, his exact words were, sir, if I'm at work and somebody gets in my police car, it's not going to be a good day for them either.
Yeah, exactly.
And
that's great.
come
That's
to find
cool.
out,
That's
yeah,
cool
and,
that they did
he, yeah, and he talked to me for a second. Come to find out that I stopped him half to death. He had a concussion, he was indefinitely concussed. But even with even under the suspicion that he had a concussion, when he started talking to the cops and the paramedics, they're like, "Sir, you
Drunk
seem
as
to be
fuck.
slurring a little bit. You okay? You had anything to drink tonight?" We're in Bartholomew County at a 4-H building, which is a dry building, and if I'm not mistaken, that's a dry county.
Yeah.
They don't serve alcohol there. They breathalyzed him. He was 3 times over the legal limit.
Wow.
And he drove there that night.
Yeah.
So they ended up arresting him
That's
on
good.
drunken disorderly, DUI, criminal trespass, and
Yeah.
attempted assault.
Good.
He
Good.
deserved that shit.
Yeah.
We do got somebody on the line. Who we got on the line here? You still there?
You still there?
Should be. Hello? You
Hey,
still
I'm
there?
here.
Who is this?
Yeah, sorry, it cut out for a second. It's Flynn Hendricks. You ought to know who it is.
Okay.
What's good, Flynn?
Oh, Mega, man, I was sitting there waiting. I was wondering how long that story was going to go, but man, I can't give you any heat off that. That was amazing. Did exactly what you were supposed to do. Now, why didn't you do that at the fair show we worked last summer? Why didn't you do that then?
Somebody else jump in the ring on you? Why would they want to jump in the ring with Omega anyway? Why?
Man.
Hey, he said they were drunk. Liquid courage does crazy things.
Yeah, that don't make no sense.
The amount of times that fans get up the courage to like try and get in the ring.
Does it happen often? Does it happen often?
It doesn't happen super often, but like when it does, it's like, how stupid are you?
Yeah, yeah. How
Exactly.
stupid!
People
like
who
you got,
cross barricades, people who try to get in the ring, even just people like reaching over the.
and it's usually motherfuckers that aren't physical at all with anybody.
Yeah.
Like just being stupid.
No, it's like the guy I fought like way back when was probably like 3 times my size and not in a healthy way.
Yeah.
And yeah, like even then, like still like the most out of shape people are the ones that end up trying to do it.
Out of
furthest
shape,
from who
not
should be in
physical
there,
with the,
yeah.
not being physical with another person and ever, like not even sexually. Just you know what I'm saying?
Next time you see Vic, ask him about the scar. Ask him to show you the scar on his arm. He's got. I mean, y'all see him wrestle. That massive scar on his shoulder. That came from. When
He
they
may
were
have
still
told us
doing
that story.
shows, at the Louisville Gardens. He's on the outside of the ring. He's near the barricade. He said that a fan took one of them old school bottle openers that still had like the tip point, lit it on fire, reaches over the barricade, and just hooks in and tears it up his
Oh
arm.
wow!
That's how he got that.
He didn't tell us that story, did he?
I don't think
he told us that story. But we have to have. Well, I want to have him and you in here
Hey,
at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll,
with it. I'm
we'll,
with
we'll
it.
definitely make that happen.
Eric Montgomery says Omega became the most hated person in Jeffersonville Arena last night.
Oh ho!
Man, anytime I go to the arena, I become the most hated person in the arena. That's a badge of honor right there. I love pissing off people in the arena.
That's right.
But now, last night we go ahead, Flynn.
Go ahead, Flynn.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think me and you were like neck and neck right there too. Because if it's not you, it's me. If we're not on the same show together, it's one of us that's getting in trouble for getting too much heat or whatever it may be. Basically, doing our job.
But so last night we had Madman Pondo's girl fight. You know that he runs. Every year they have an intergender show he calls Gender Wars, where it's like, the girl fight roster, against some male talent.
Yep.
I wrestled Kenzie Page Henry last night.
I know her.
Phenomenal match. Like that's already my favorite match of the year.
Okay, cool.
I don't know if I'll have another match.
So you wrestled a female last night?
Yeah, man.
Was that the one Mickey Midas was at?
Yep. Mickey Midas wrestled Rachel Armstrong.
Yeah, he said that was his best match ever.
Big time wrestling women's champion.
Yeah.
Rachel Armstrong.
Yeah, he was saying on Facebook that was one of his favorite matches.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It was a dope show, and I mean I've never gotten to wrestle an intergender match before.
Yeah.
And I mean Kenzie Page, she's one of the best performers. I mean male or female in the country right now. So like we got in there and I mean we tore it up, man.
I bet.
She's a badass. I've wrestled men bigger than me who do not hit as hard as Kenzie Page does.
Oh wow!
Like she is an absolute beast, dude.
That's cool. That's
yeah.
Is that stuff on YouTube?
Not yet. The show got recorded, and as soon as it goes up somewhere,
Man, I'm gonna
find it immediately.
I wish these.
Let us know. We'll check it out.
I wish these promotions would start putting their stuff on YouTube so that people can see them. See that stuff.
I know a lot of those girl fights get recorded. I'm not sure how it gets distributed. I don't know if he puts out DVDs or YouTube.
He sells them or something.
But like, man, as soon as I can get the video of it, I'm putting it out there because that match was, straight up fire.
Yeah.
So
shout out Kenzie Page.
Yep.
Yeah,
shout out to her. So Flynn, what you gonna be doing next week, March 18th?
Oh, good God, where do I start? Besides being on set for a film they're doing in Nashville for Amazon, I'm going to be hitting up the local Bowling Green TV stations promoting the Caverna Super Show next Saturday for UCW. If you're in the Horse Cave, Caverna area, make sure you come on out on Saturday to elementary school because it's going to be a stacked-ass card with me on top.
And that's in Cave City, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir. Cave City.
Yeah, we're going to try to get down there to that. Every time we tell somebody we're going to try to get somewhere, something else happens. But We're gonna try to get down there. We want to definitely.
I know that. I know that all too well. But if you can, make sure you get there because the Godfather's going to be there. He might have a hoe train. You never know. It's an elementary school. I don't know what's allowed here, but there may be hoes. There may be some other kind of trains. There may be some fatties. You never know.
He'll find some way to have that whole train.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know if I
sure.
want to see a whole train coming out of Caverna, though.
Hopefully he brings them with him.
Yeah,
Hopefully he brings them with
Hope we
him.
don't get local hoes.
It'd be so bad if it's local hoes.
It'd be like going
Actually,
down
hang on, I
7th
take
Street
that-
and get the hose.
But that would mean Terry England would have to spend the money to actually get rings for them too. So
Terry's not gonna do
Yeah,
that.
that ain't happening.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of which,
I love you, Terry.
speaking of which, Flynn, tell Terry England that we still got a dime here for him if he ever wants to come on.
Hey, man, calm down. You let Terry know his money on the table. He's going to bust through that door like the Kool-Aid man.
I'm gonna tell him there's a dime and a penny waiting on him. Up the ante a little bit.
And that someone is
Actually, here's the
that
dime
someone
right
got a
here.
hot dog for free.
I hope he don't see this. Hope he don't see this $10 bill hanging on the wall here.
Man.
$10 bill, hot dog, a nickel and a penny. I mean, good Lord, how
Hell
much more do
yeah.
you have to do to get him out there?
And a free bottle of water if he wants it.
I used to watch Terry England and Tim Gotterman, the old commissioner
Oh God.
of the Kentucky,
Oh,
the
God.
Yeah, I
Kentucky
remember
Commission.
Tim.
Them two used to like have cheap like contests with each other. It's like they would have these contests
Yep.
to see like who could spend the less money or who could get the
God,
most
yes.
stuff for free somewhere. It's like, man, y'all the two most cheap bastards I've never met in
That's
my life,
funny.
man.
That's
They probably got more money than all of us combined.
Exactly.
That's the problem. That's the thing.
I got one that'll top that. I don't know if you've heard this one or not, but a while back, Terry and Wolfie D got into a fight in the locker room, right?
Oh.
Wolfie has Terry in a rear naked choke, and Terry's struggling to get out. He sees some change that's on the floor. He stops trying to fight that and starts trying to scoop the change into his pocket. Wolfie just gave up and let him go.
While he's in the real show.
Man,
Yeah.
that is the
That
most
sounds-
Terry
The almighty
thing I've ever
dollar.
heard.
That sounds like what we like. What the? Eric Montgomery said that's one hell of a payday right there. I mean, got the dime, the hot dog, the $10 bill on the wall, the free bottle of water. Eric Montgomery said that's one hell of a payday right there.
I'd take that.
I mean,
if
good
was a
Lord.
wrestler.
As if he ain't making that with having me on top of his shows. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
That sounds like Terry England though to be trying to fight for the change when always it's a real naked joke.
He's like,
Man's
I'm
last
gonna
on the
have somebody
line,
else.
He's still trying to get his change off the ground.
Look, I'm gonna have somebody else pay
Do
it.
y'all have to hunt him?
When I die, they're bearing me with the money.
Do y'all have to hunt him down after the shows?
No, he just sits there. It's like he's trying to wait you out and see if you're going to leave before he tries to divvy it out or he passes it off.
Yo,
Somebody
Flynn,
else. He plays the waiting game.
Flynn, do you remember what happened at Caverna last year?
What specifically? I remember a lot that happened at Caverna last year.
So the show's over, and I guess most other people had already went to Terry and gotten paid. Me, me, James Kendrick, and Brandon Wolf, like we're all still just waiting around. I was like, man, ain't nobody seen Terry, so we figured out
You
where
gotta go
he
to
set
him.
up. But see, normally Terry's really good about going around, make sure everybody gets paid.
Yeah.
It takes
Yep.
forever, but
He-
normally, he makes his rounds and does it.
Yeah.
Apparently, you had to go to him that night, so we walked in there. We figured out where his office was that night. We walk in. I'm in the middle. James Kendrick's on this side of me. Brandon's on this side. Terry looks up, about shit his pants. Like he's like sitting there counting money. He looks up, and he's looking at me and James. He's like, "Omega, brother, don't ever do that to me again." He's like, I look up at you and he's like, and you look like you're about ready to kill me. He's like, and then I look over at James and he looks like he's about ready to beat the hell out of me. He's like, but then I look over at Brandon and I'm like, okay, I'm fine, and I don't have to worry about it.
I remember that because that was right as I was walking out, and I heard him say that.
Terry's starting to sound like Mr. Krabs sitting there counting his money.
Man, scared the hell out of Terry that night.
That's funny.
That's how we like Terry though, scared and off guard.
Yeah.
Keeps him honest.
Scared and off guard, clutching them coins.
Exactly, it keeps the man honest.
As honest as the promoter could be, anyway.
Boom.
Hey, me and Terry actually have conversations sometimes.
I love Terry. I love Terry
Same
as much
here.
as I can actually love a promoter.
Yeah, he's one of the best as far as that goes, and he's also the best at leaving you 8-minute voice messages that have a lot of truck noises in them too. That's about
I
it.
got that too.
And they always stop at some point because he doesn't want to get caught like on the phone in the truck. So it'll be like 2 minutes in and then just nothing for like 30 seconds, and then he just picks back up on it. Hey, sorry, there was a cop on the side of the road.
Sounds exactly like him because that's what I get.
But no, I love Terry. Terry England was the first person to ever book me in the state of Kentucky.
That's cool.
So I got mad respect for Terry England.
Yeah.
And he's the one that pulled me back in 2 years ago. Him and Vic, both of them.
Yeah.
So I can't say a bad thing about him. I'll joke about it, but that man knows what he's doing. I'll give him that.
Terry sent a card. Was one of the first person. He's one of the first people to send something to my wife when my daughter was born.
Okay.
Yeah. Terry's one of the first people to reach out.
That's cool, man. That's cool. That's good.
That is very cool.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, we love Terry. We love giving Terry hell, but we love Terry.
Shout out to Terry England.
Yeah,
That's right.
we know we ain't getting that money, so we're getting our stuff other ways. So we do what we can.
UCW, these guys are having a big show down in Cave City on what date?
It's going to be next
18th.
Saturday, March 18th, and the main event's got 4 stipulations in it too. It's a tag match, but depending on who gets pinned, if I get pinned, I lose the only active title Terry's got right now, the Southern States title. My tag partner gets pinned, Francisco Chiazzo, he loses $2,000. Brandon Wolf gets pinned, he's got to get his head shaved. And if Chris Michaels gets pinned, he's got to retire. So it's 4 stipulations on the line for this tag match.
Wow.
Speaking of the Southern States title, we got the longest reigning champion right here inside the studio.
That's it.
Oh,
That's right.
Somebody's getting close though, ain't they?
I'm coming for that mark, and everybody was telling me it was Brandon Wolf, but I've already beat his.
So you're the champion down there, right?
Right now, yeah.
Heck
And
yeah.
I've had it we're going on, let's see, this is March now, 14 months.
Wow. How long do you have it? Omega?
Yeah.
400 days.
400 days.
Omega
Oh,
might
so I
have
am
to-
getting close.
Yeah.
Omega might
Sounds
have
to
to
me
come
like,
down.
I'm saying, sounds to me like I might need to change my plans for the 18th. Because I don't like his
Right.
Oh,
Well,
shit.
let me throw Brandon Wolf in your way, and then let me pin Chris Michaels, and we'll figure it out from there.
All right.
Oh,
How's that sound?
okay. Who gets that
can help me-
$2,000 if that guy gets pinned?
Whoever makes the pin.
I guess it depends on who pays him, or if, let's see. Maybe Brandon Wolf could get a better Duran Duran cosplay if he got the money, or Chris Michaels could get more beer for the locker room. I don't know,
Who,
but
so y'all get the money, or does Terry England get the money?
Terry's going to fight both of us for that money. That's all I can say.
Hey, he might. While y'all
Oh,
got him
yeah.
inside Coco, he's probably going to be fighting to grab the money and put it inside his pocket.
Yeah. You got to
Yeah,
watch
I'll
him.
tell
Oh, God.
I tell you what, that's
That's
You know what?
$2,000.
I've already beat the hell out of Brandon Wolf, and I need another match with Chris Michaels.
Yeah.
Me and Chris Michaels have wrestled once, and he took the easy way out the match. You know, he put me out the ring. I wrestled Chris Michaels in a triple threat match. It was me, him, and Derek Neal, and he took the easy way out the match. He got rid of me and tried to focus on. No, he waited for me and Derek to focus on each other and slid in and picked the bones. So like, nah, I need a one-on-one with Chris Michaels.
Wait.
There you go, Chris Michaels. If you're listening.
Hang on. You had one more with him over this past summer because we tagged against him and Zodi on the fair tour.
And same thing, he let Zodi do the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
So even
Yep.
still, I need a one-on-one with Chris Michaels.
Oh, Chris
Yep.
Michaels listening. Zodi,
That's right, Chris Michaels.
Omega wants you.
Man,
He wants a piece of you, Chris Michaels.
yeah, I remember that match.
That's
You let
it.
Zodi do all the heavy lifting on that one.
Now, see, you're making me – because Chris Michaels was my dream match when I first started like 15 years ago. But you're making me want to leave him now so that I can just take Brandon's hair and leave him for you to pick up the scraps. So that sounds like a good deal in my book. I'm all right with that.
I'm with it.
Harry, I hope you're listening. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think Chris Michaels want that, but I'm with it.
Throw him a six-pack. We'll be good.
That does
Wrestler-
sound like a great match.
Sean, you've been quiet over there. You got anything to ask to Omega?
No.
No.
I mean, everything I've wanted to ask you, you've already done. You hit the
Pinky's
button.
pop.
That ain't what your mama said. No.
Oh.
Questions I wanted to ask you, that Johnny to ask, or you've given the information. I kind of got nothing.
I'm an open book, brother. Anything you want.
I saw you wrestle one night, Vic the Bruiser, up in Frankfurt at KEPW.
You still got that belt, don't you? You're still the champ down there, right?
Yep.
I don't know how to answer that.
Yeah.
Because, like,
you were the last champ, right?
I was the last champ. And KEPW is technically defunct now. And I never lost the KEPW heavyweight champion.
You still got that belt?
You were undefeated with
I
it.
don't have the belt anymore.
Oh, man. They should have let you keep that belt.
I surrendered the belt, but again, like, I've not been pinned as KEPW heavyweight champion.
So you're still the champ.
Yeah.
Always be the champ.
Yeah.
Boom. Forever champ.
Yeah. What I remember, they were in the crowd. There were 2 fans that were just all night. They were being assholes, just disruptive. I think they showed up.
Why was you doing that?
I wasn't one of them.
I believe it.
You weren't there.
There was these 2 fans. Well, why was you doing that?
No, they were being just jerks. And after your match, usually, whatever happened in the crowd, as long as it don't really affect your match, but you got on there, you're in there selling. Is somebody calling in?
Yeah, somebody's calling. Don't worry about it.
And you were just like, I don't care what's going on over here. Start pointing where the whole fight going on. But y'all need to learn some damn respect over here.
Damn straight.
Which, it needed to be said, because those 2 were just being just like, and there was I wouldn't say a riot, but those 2, hell almost went down. That was one of the last few times I went to a KUPW show. Other times my shoot job got in the way and I couldn't make it, but I was just like, you kind of was like trying to keep semblance of order while
Also, they paid to
everything
see
going
rest.
down.
I remember that, man.
Yeah.
That was, and my whole thing with that was trying to draw the attention back away from it, because I don't give a damn what it is. Whether it's wrestling, whether it's music, if you go into a stand-up comedy show, you pay your money for a ticket, you got the right to cheer or boo or say, whatever you want to.
Diego's calling.
You don't have the right to take away an experience.
We got
No. We're going to get to Diego in a minute.
Okay.
Because it's important.
Okay.
You pay for a ticket. You have the right to, say what you want, cheer, boo, do whatever. That's fine. You don't have the right to take that experience away from anybody else. And you don't have a right
Amen.
to take the experience away from the people in the ring. I get in the ring.
Amen.
I put my damn body on the line every single time, and I go to the absolute max.
Exactly.
I'll be damned if I'm busting my ass for somebody in the crowd to try and make the show about them.
Damn straight.
So it's like, no. It was like, I get it. There's a lot going on. It was like, don't give these idiots over here your attention. It's like, give your attention to the dudes that you paid money to see, to the dudes who are in here killing themselves to entertain you. And if you don't know how to show up, sit down, shut the hell up, and know how to act, don't come. We don't want your money. We
Exactly.
don't want you there.
Exactly.
If you
That's right.
don't know how to act, stay the hell at home.
If you don't
Plus
know
you're-
how to act, and even if you're saying some fucking stupid racist shit, don't fucking show up at the shows. Stay
Plus
your
you're
fucking
paid.
ass at home.
Preach.
Preach, yeah.
Preach.
Exactly.
Stay the fuck
Like,
at home.
I'm in there
Absolutely.
trying to pay attention to the matches. You guys were all killing it, but I'm just like,
Yeah.
And to me, it's disrespectful if I don't speak to it, because, like you said, man, you paid your hard-earned money to see that, and then you got this bullshit going on over here.
Yeah.
So, like, how rude is that to you that
Exactly,
somebody else is
'cause I'm
encroaching
right
on what
next to
you
them.
Exactly.
spent money on?
Yeah, and there's probably
Yeah.
kids in
And
the
that's
audience and
bullshit,
everything.
too.
saying,
Exactly.
And it's like say, for example, Andy and Johnny are getting into it in the show. We're trying to cause a big ruckus, whatever. But I'm like, I'm trying to enjoy these guys in the ring killing themselves to entertain me, and like, you guys are just making it all about yourselves.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the hell? And you made a good point. You were just like, you grabbed the mic and pretty much like, all right, guys, I'm over here. Ignore that shit. I'm right here. So,
Yeah, like, those people ought to
right.
that's
stay
not
the
what
fucking
you
home.
said, but
We want fans to come out to the indie shows, but if you're a fucking asshole and you're gonna disrupt the show, or you're gonna make some smart ass racist comment, keep your fucking ass at home. We don't want you. And if you're watching my show and you're a fucking racist, smart ass fucking bastard, don't watch my show either.
And fuck off.
Amen to that.
It's funny. We've already talked about the induction ceremony where Bret Hart got jumped.
Yeah.
The most memorable part of that whole thing to me is the second it happened, everybody who was ringside jumped in the ring, and I mean,
Yeah.
like FTR
Handle
got in the ring,
business.
and like Dex Harwood is stomping dudes' brains out.
Yeah.
They finally get the ring cleared out. Everybody's checking on Brett. Rockstar Spud. What the hell did he change his name?
James Curtin.
Yeah. He gets on the microphone. He was like, ladies and gentlemen, pay absolutely no attention to what just happened. Focus your attention back on Bret Hart. Let's get this thing back on track.
Exactly.
Do not give this idiot over here your attention. Let's get this thing back
I
in
think
order.
I seen somebody jump in the ring one time with Macho Man and Hulk Hogan. They fucking beat the living shit out of that guy. I was like, beat his ass.
I've seen Triple H ignored that he was selling. Get up because an idiot came in to attack Stone Cold. So he jumps up, grabs him, and hits him with German suplex.
German suplex the motherfucker.
And
if you watch that video, the ref gets in on it. Like the ref.
Oh, yeah, the ref is like kicking his ass.
The ref put the boost to him.
Man,
So if you're dumb enough to get in the ring with professional wrestlers, if you fuck
You're
around,
fair game.
you fuck around, you will find out.
And you're fair game, too. There you go.
For sure.
I ain't going to incapacitate. I'm going to put your lights out. Because again, it's 2023, man. You don't ever know what somebody's intentions are. You don't know what somebody's coming in the ring with. That dude in Columbus. Columbus has a KKK chapter in it.
Yeah.
Like there's an active Klan chapter in Columbus. And
fuck
I see
those
some
clans,
random
too.
dude sliding to the ring. Hell no, I wasn't actually going to let him get to his feet and figure out what he was doing.
Yeah.
I'll stomp his daggone brains in.
Yeah. If you're a Klan member, you're a bitch anyway.
Austin Diamond says, gentlemen, I'm sorry.
Amen.
I can attest to the fact that Omega is a consummate professional.
He's
DJ
the Eric.
Of our
Yep.
professional, much
Eric
respect to
Montgomery.
him.
Oh, somebody else is on the line.
Love Austin Diamond to death. That's Austin Diamond's like a little brother, man. Love that kid.
Yeah. Who's on the?
It's DJ. It's Eric Montgomery, aka
Who's
DJ.
else on the? Who's on the line now?
Flint.
Hey, Flynn, we got some more people wanting to call in, and I'm gonna let you go, okay, buddy? Thank you for calling in.
Love you, homie.
That's right.
You hear me? Well,
Show, all right.
hey, appreciate you, man. If you don't like and follow us on YouTube, if you can.
Absolutely, and I'll make sure everybody else does it too.
Hey,
I
man,
know you hear me.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Love you, Omega.
Love you too, bro.
Austin Diamond said, I remember last year in
Have
February,
whoever wants to call back.
Omega
Have Diego
was
call back too.
ready to handle a problematic lad in the parking lot.
He remembers what now?
Last year in February, Omega was ready to handle a problematic lad.
This is DJ Eric.
DJ Eric?
DJ Eric Montgomery. What's up, buddy?
What up, my dude?
What's up, DJ Eric?
What up, Omega?
What up, Eric? How you doing, man?
You know, same stuff, different day, bro. I want to say something, brother. Last night, getting to see you wrestle for the first time in like years,
Diego call back.
I felt good because remember, I watched you grow from like a little puppy dog, Omega. Now you're grown, you're kicking ass, taking names. I'm proud to call you my friend, my brother, but most importantly, my family.
I appreciate it, Eric, man. I love you to death, bro.
Even though you got so much shit last night for that promo. Man, it was the best last night. Girl fight, gender wars, you and Kenzie killing it, you know, and like you said, Mickie and Rachel Armstrong, that was one heck of a match.
Did you have a cool promo last night?
Man,
Can you cut it now?
Man, cool wasn't the word.
Can you cut it now?
It's like the arena is the easiest place in the world to cut a promo because they're so paper skinned. There's such paper skinned wrestling fans, and it's anybody who's ever been to the arena knows the arena has a very particular demographic that it attracts, and they're so easy to speak to. Like the Southern Indiana crowd, it's so easy to get under their skin.
That's right.
Oh, the concession stands workers right. I heard him last night because he was talking about the women's right. I was like, oh my god, you're gonna get killed here.
I mean, we're at a show. We're at an intergender show called Gender Wars. They want me to go out there and cut a promo, and I was like, okay, everybody in the crowd's from Southern Indiana. We got a whole lot of women in here. Oh, this will be easy.
Yeah.
So I spent half the promo.
We all know Omega loves women because he was raised by a bunch of women in his family, his mother and his sisters. So
for the record, like let's not confuse Omega the person with Omega the Pitbull.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, and while Omega the person has nothing but respect for women, Omega the Pitbull went out there and was like, what's the easiest way to get on these people's skin?
Let's get over.
We're at an agenda match.
Let's get some heat tonight.
Let's go ahead and get this out. So they, Charlene, Charlene the ref.
Oh my God, that was the best.
Incredible referee.
Yeah.
Charlene was supposed to be the ref for the match. Before I even started the promo, I'll start talking. It's like I look over at Charlene. It's like, no. It's like we've already had a woman out here once, and we know how that last match went. Let's get an actual qualified official out here.
Oh,
wow.
So we call a male ref out, and it's like, yeah, you're excused. You can get the hell out of here. You don't know
Oh,
what you're doing. And then from there, the crowd starts booing. All the women in the crowd are pissed off. So I was like, look, don't look at me like I'm some kind of sexist. It's like I'm not. It's like I believe
I'm not a sexist. I'm not a no.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not a sexist. I'm not a chauvinist. It's like I believe firmly in women's rights. I believe in a woman's right to have my dinner ready when I get home. I believe in a woman's right to sit down and shut the hell up. And I just went on and on and on. And these people are hey.
And where was this? Where was this last night? You said?
Yes.
Last night here in Jeffersonville.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, so when they hit Kenzie's music and she comes out, she's automatically Superwoman.
Yeah.
All they want to see is her like smack me in the mouth now.
Do they do Tuesday night shows a lot down there?
Not as much anymore.
Yeah.
Their next one is May 9th. Is the next girl fight.
Boom. Anybody in Southern Indiana, Louisville area, May 9th, next girl fight. You are not gonna see competition like this anywhere else in the world, man. Most talented women on the face of the planet.
Yeah.
You had AEW, you got wrestlers, you had GCW wrestlers, you had the freaking Pitbull himself causing more hell than I've ever seen in that building. I've been in that building since it opened. But I love Omega for it. That's my bro, no matter what. Good guy, bad guy. Like I said last night, I don't like him as a good guy if he ever plays a good guy.
Good guy Omega's just not as much fun, man.
Yeah. I like heel Omega.
That's what I'm saying. Trying to act like, the happy-go-lucky, hey, everybody. Like, it's not my style.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Omega,
I'm going to give you a compliment, brother. You know who you remind me of?
Who?
A younger Victor Bruiser.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
And it's Eric. It's wild, man. Before I actually met Vic, since I started in the arena, everybody that I met when I first broke in would always be like, this kid's like a young Victor Bruiser. He reminds me just of Victor Bruiser. And apparently, when Vic came to those OSWA shows for the first time, somebody had said to him, we got this guy who looks and acts just like a young Victor Bruiser. And Vic's a legend. So he's probably used to people trying to make comparisons. So in Vic's brain, he was like, yeah, all right, whatever.
He came in and he was so, like, when he first got here, he shook my hand. He was so quiet. He sat down in the seat like you did. And he didn't say much. And I was like, oh, my God. I was thinking to myself, it's not going to, I'm going to have to pull, teeth here. Because sometimes people come in and I'm like, I got to pull teeth. When somebody like you comes in and you're talking a lot and you're being you, it's easier for me. Yeah. But if I get some guest and I got to pull teeth, I was like, oh my God. But soon as the show started, he was like, bam, it was one of my favorites. Yeah. One of my favorite podcasts of all time when he was in here. He's just a great guy. Just seemed like a really good guy. And then you called in and talked to him on the phone too. It was cool.
And again, everybody kept telling him, like, man, we got this kid who looks and acts just like a young Victor Bruiser. And in his brain, he's like, yeah, all right, whatever. And then I came up to him and introduced myself. I stuck my hand out to him and was like, how you doing, sir? My name's Omega. He looked at me. And I think it was eerie to him because he was like, damn.
Looking in the mirror here.
He was like, what's your mom's name again? The first time I met Vic's family, I met his sister at a show in Muldrow, Kentucky. And the show's over. He walks me over to him. He's like, "Sis, this is my this is my son Omega." And she looks at me. She looks at him. She looks back at me. She looks at him again. She's like, "Victor Lewis, do we need to have a conversation about something?"
Exactly. Is this a long lost kid that we don't know about here, Vic?
Hey.
You definitely came a long way, Omega. I remember those days from the OSWA. God, I don't forget them. I remember them.
It was dark times, bro. It was dark times.
Oh yeah, we both come a long way. Look at you. This year marks 20 years for me in this business. God forbid, I don't know how I did it.
See, and again, when Eric called in when Pops was on, and I made the statement that I did over the phone, I meant every single word of that because it was literally when I first broke in and we were doing those Sunday shows, you would see people do stuff, and it's like, okay, you've got me on as a guest right now. If I held up your microphone and then just slammed it down as soon as we were done with the podcast and walked off, what kind of mess is that? And that's what people used to do with Eric's equipment. People would cut promos with Eric's equipment and like slam the microphones down and like use them as weapons and stuff like that. And he's like, bro, this is my stuff. And y'all already aren't paying me enough to be here.
Exactly.
And you're trashing my equipment.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, Eric, we had somebody else wanting to call in.
That's good. And, much love to you, Omega. Have fun. And y'all see you when I see you again.
All right. Thank you, Eric. Hey, thanks for being such an awesome guest.
Always.
All right, buddy.
Love you, man.
Diego wanting to call.
Oh, God.
He's so funny, though, man.
We were on such a bad.
Diego.
Wake up my ego.
Hola, 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 hola.
Hey, you're on the podcast with Omega.
Yeah, whatever. It's not about Omega right now.
It's not.
Even though I do have much respect for Omega. I do have much respect. I would not step into the ring with him. Yes, of course, he couldn't handle me now. But even still, I got a little issue that I want to address right now. Kirkpatrick said that he might invite Omega to come help him battle Trinity. No. See, if Omega came to battle Trinity, he would fall into darkness, just like everyone else.
Y'all don't want Omega up there. He'll take all you guys out.
He would eat y'all alive.
Even though every time I see Omega hit a clothesline, my chest hurts.
He said his chest still hurts.
I felt
Crush him,
that
Omega.
pain.
What about his chops?
Crush him.
Diego.
Yes.
I've been to war.
You say yes, sir.
I've been to war with Vic the Bruiser. I've been to war with Damien Wayne, Chase Stevens, Mr. USA, Larry Dees, Zodiak, Carlito, Alex Zane, Blake Christian. I went almost completely undefeated inside of a cage, 16-1. Lost one fight by discontinuation because I had my arm pulled out of socket and they would not let me finish. My coach literally popped it back in place, tried to prove that I had functionality of it, wouldn't let me finish the fight. Fight stopped by discontinuation. Me versus you would be the equivalent of Godzilla versus a moth. Not Mothra, an actual moth. The annoying little bugs that bump off the light. Because that's exactly what you are. You're an insect trying to stay in the light of something that you're not good enough to be in. I would crush you like a bug. This isn't even a competition. I would slaughter you, dude.
You know what?
They would find like one piece of your skull in Jeffersonville and the rest of it halfway to Texas.
You know what? You're right.
You're right.
I have the most respect for Omega, but now is not the time.
Hey, Diego, we're gonna let you go, okay?
Oh, no,
Hold
Dom
on.
said.
Thank you for calling in.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What the freak? Where did you come from? What the? Oh!
He's beating himself up.
I give up.
Thanks, Diego.
I'm not even a drinking man, but I'm even drinking so don't kick me out with Omega, man.
Austin Dom said this. He said, Omega, I'm just throwing it out there. I've got a show April 22nd at your favorite venue.
Oh, God.
A.K.A. the Arena, Jeffersonville, Indiana.
Man.
Oh, okay.
Respect, brother.
What is
Austin,
that?
I love you to death, bro. Pass.
Is that Doomsday? Is that Doomsday?
Yep, Doomsday Pro Wrestling.
That's a Doomsday show.
Yeah.
I don't.
He's Austin's trying to put his reps in. We can deal with that, I guess.
I don't think I would be very welcome at a Doomsday Pro Wrestling show.
You'd be welcome with open arms, but you wouldn't have no competition there. I mean,
You would destroy everybody on that roster.
I've destroyed just about everybody on that roster, man.
Yeah.
There's a couple of dudes on that roster I've been in the ring with, like in my early days, and I'm surprised they survived them matches.
yeah.
There's at least 3 guys on that show that, like, I have actually made cry in the ring.
So, as far as Diego, have you helped train some of him or a little bit? How is he as a wrestler? Like to you, like what kind of pointers will you give to him?
In all honesty,
Yeah, in all honesty.
Diego wasn't really around long enough for me to even be able to comment on it.
Yeah.
He popped up like right towards the tail end of KAPW.
Yeah.
So I mean, he went to when we would have class, a couple of times, and then like KAPW, went defunct.
Yeah.
So in all honesty, I didn't even spend enough time around Diego to really comment
all reality,
on how he was then. But I've seen some of his work on YouTube now.
Yeah. He needs a good trainer, don't he?
Yeah, player, you need a couple more reps in.
Well, because Diego, as far as being an entertainer, he does the whole Elvis thing. He does the Michael Jackson thing. He's legitimate entertainer.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Diego, we really want you to get trained good, man, so you can actually become a really good wrestler. You get on here, you entertain us. We're friends of yours, and but you're not
Get
on
a trainer,
Omega.
guy.
Get a trainer.
And there's
Go
enough
to a
people
school
out there to do it, man. Like, even if you just look around Kentucky, Larry D, hell of a trainer.
Yes.
Hell of a coach.
And his school is reasonable.
Yeah.
His school is very reasonable. Because me and Johnny thought about going down there. I still have some health issues that I'm taking care of. And Johnny's, we're trying to come up with the money for Johnny. But his training is very reasonable. And you get Larry D and you get Max down there trying to train you. Get down there. If you say that you can't afford a school, then that school is very affordable.
Yep.
And
Larry D, hell of a trainer. Roger Ruffin in Northern Kentucky.
Yes.
Yeah.
All kinds of talent, that Roger Ruffin's helped train.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's, OVW in Louisville, if you can afford to go the OVW route. But, man, there's enough people. I don't know if they still do it, but I think the Waddells.
Yep,
out
they
that
still
way.
train.
Ray and Chris Waddell. I think they used to help train people.
We do like
Kyle Maggart used to help train people.
Yeah.
Appalachian Mountain Wrestling.
Yep.
Cal
Appalachian.
Maggart's awesome.
Yeah.
And we do like you, Diego. We do know you got
he
talent.
got his ass beat by Kirkpatrick while he was on the phone.
He said, "How did y'all like the beatdown that Diego just got?"
He was beat on him.
Kirkpatrick just beat you up.
Yeah, he
Beat
just
up
beat
Diego.
Diego up while he was on the phone with us.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Kirk.
Thanks, Kurt.
Shout out Kirk.
But Diego, please get some proper training because we like you a lot. We think you're entertaining. So
And the reason why you got your ass beat is because you didn't get no training Kirkpatrick has.
yeah, take your ass to a pro wrestling school.
At least hit up someone like Larry D and get some training. Or hit up Roger Ruff.
Larry D's one of the best in the game at it, man.
Yeah.
He used to help so many of us out, like when we were first starting out.
So at this point, we've been on here almost 2 hours now. At this point, I let everybody say their last words. I'm gonna let Sean Johns go first.
Omega, sir, thank you for coming in, brother. Johnny, always a pleasure, brother. Andy, can't say enough nice things about you, boss.
Well, thank you.
Not
You can
just
though if
'cause-
you want to.
No, I don't want to.
You can say all.
Everybody else watching in the comments, everybody that called in, even Diego. Okay. Thank you, everybody, and stay nice.
Johnny, go ahead.
I just want to say thank you, Omega. I knew that this show was going to be great because the moment they start talking, I knew you already had it.
Yeah.
I want to thank Sean Johns. Always a pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Andy, you're a great host. And since Sean won't kiss your ass, I have to.
Oh, yeah, please.
You're the greatest host ever.
It's your job.
That's actually true. That's actually true. I get paid for that. Well, actually, I don't get paid. I get paid in water.
Say something nice for me.
Andy,
Too nice to me.
Andy has great hair.
Yeah, thank
because
you.
AJ
More.
Kazana said so.
More.
Also, he's got a great shirt on. Adidas. All day I think about sex.
Talk about my underwear.
What?
It's sparkly.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Omega.
also-
How would you know?
And also, thank you, Kirkpatrick, for beating Diego's ass.
Thank you, Kirkpatrick.
Omega, it's your voice now. You say whatever you want. Put over your business. Put over your social medias. Tell everybody where you're going to be wrestling at. All that good stuff.
So this Friday, we got a show over at the arena. Cincinnati Championship Wrestling invades Jeffersonville. Saturday, 1416 Spring Street. Show starts at 7 o'clock. I will be in action, triple threat match against Blake Money Wright and Party Mike. And then, of course, my Audacity homie, the Cincinnati heavyweight champion, the Golden State God, Carson Drake, will be in action with yours truly in his corner against Matt Diesel with UFC legend Dan the Beast Severn in his corner. Next weekend, we got a doubleheader coming out of West Virginia. Big Time Wrestling, Lords of the Ring, doing shows Friday, March 17th, and Saturday, March 18th. Going to be 2 awesome shows there. We've got Derby City Wrestling.
Coming to Louisville.
Coming to Louisville, the Norton Sports Complex down on West Muhammad Ali. It's going to be debuting Sunday, March 26th. Feel free to follow me on social media. Follow me on Facebook, Omega D. Follow me on Instagram, Omega the Pitbull. Twitter, Omega Bleeds Gold. YouTube, 502 Pitbull. Feel free to follow my business page, Pitbull Fitness LLC. Even if you don't live in the local area, I also do online training, remote training. We can cover all bases no matter where you are. I've got clients right now in 5 states and 1 internationally. So, I mean, we can cover all your bases there. I want to thank y'all for having me out tonight.
Oh, man, we appreciate you coming.
It's been an absolute blast. Anybody out there who's listening, thank you for tuning into it. Anybody who's ever taken the time, over the past 6 years to give me advice, wisdom to help, pass along any kind of nuggets to me, thank you so much for that. I promise you it did not go, your words didn't go in vain. They were not wasted. They were not lost. Any bookers and promoters who, have ever taken a chance on me over the last 6 years, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Kaylee, thank you for putting up with me.
Yeah.
My daughter, who should be at home asleep right now. I don't know. We'll find out about that.
Yeah. It's still early. It's only 10.
Love you to death, baby girl. But no, man, seriously, everybody, who's been on this journey with me from the beginning, thank you from the bottom of my heart, man. I appreciate the hell out of y'all.
And I want to say thank you, Omega, for coming in. Everybody out there in the fan land, we appreciate you guys for watching us. Check out Omega if you want to get jacked, because this guy's totally just fucking ripped. He's jacked over here sitting next to us.
That's right.
Check out Pitbull Fitness. And like he said, he'll train you online. He's got 5 states where he's training people online. So get the man to train you, because he's like fucking jacked over here. So, and then check out Mondo, the DJ, on Facebook. That's right. I want you to go and check out Bobby Blade's YouTube channel. Subscribe to that, because he's got all the old wrestling there. Check out Nice Guy Andy Podcast on YouTube and Facebook, and make some do some comments and help us out, because Facebook we're monetized on Facebook, so comments, shares, likes, all that stuff helps out the podcast. And if you guys can check out our stars on Reels, send us a buck or two every once in a while if you can see us, and we appreciate it, because this thing we do is not free. And check out Royal X, our main sponsor, Royal X, for all your internet gaming needs. Check them out on Facebook. Tell them Nice Guy Andy Podcast sent you, and they will give you $5 in free play. And check out, Christina's Sweets Shop on Facebook. She's got all the good cakes. So you want to customize cake made. She made us a Nice Guy Andy Podcast cake just a couple days ago for one of our last shows, and it was freaking delicious. And so thank you, as everybody. And
if you're not having fun,
you're not getting none.
Damn Skippy.
Nice Guy Andy Podcast.
Oh, by the way, if everybody's still listening, go on the Facebook page and donate to Larry D's fund because his house burned. So yeah, check that out.
That's right.
Nice Guy Andy Podcast.
So this is our book. Get you to sign, write anything you want to write. Put your thing down there, like your business, and just.
If he keeps popping off at the mouth, I'm gonna be his daddy.
Anyways, you guys go on your little rinky-dink bullshit podcast.
Oh shit!
Nice Guy Andy Podcast.
Oh dear Lord.
This is a Zodiak, and I'm telling you now, meditate, elevate, and dominate. Do it with the Nice Guy Indie Podcast.
Hell yeah. Thanks, man.
Those were expensive shoes. You got diamonds custom made.
Anyways.
Oh dear Lord.
That's right.
Ooh, yeah! That ain't what your mama said. That ain't what your mama said.
Anyways.
If he keeps popping off at the mouth, I'm gonna be